right. We'll see if somebody knows the answer to today's stupid question via Zoom. We're going to go to listener Michael. And the question we posed to Michael, first of all, good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Top of the morning.
All righty, sir. So what does VHS stand for?
Video Home System.
He is correct.
Yeah. Nice.
Hold on a moment, Mike. We'll gather your information and we will set you up with tickets to see Volbeat and Hailstorm Saturday, August 9th, Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. through Ticketmaster. You can go to WMMR.com because we have pre-sale information and another shot at winning pit tickets for that show. Wouldn't that be nice? At the box office this weekend, it was Robert Pattinson's Mickey 17, number one. And it debuted with a haul of 19.1 mil, followed by Captain America Brave New World. Also coming in third, we have Last Breath with 4.2 million. Rounding out the top five was The Monkey in fourth place and Paddington in Peru in fifth with just below 3.9 mil.
I love those Paddington movies.
They're cute.
Yeah.
So, all right, the cause of deaths of actor Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa were revealed by officials on Friday, more than a week after the couple was mysteriously found dead in their Santa Fe, New Mexico home. Hackman, and this is a wild story.
It is. You couldn't write this script.
Hackman died of cardiovascular and Alzheimer's disease, likely around February 18th, about a week after his wife died. And she died from a rare syndrome called hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. And she possibly died, they're guessing on this, around February 11th.
Oh, my God.
So he was essentially wandering around the house while she was dead.
So if he was suffering, I went through it all in my head. Yeah. So first of all, whatever she died of is found in rodents,
rats.
Right?
Yeah,
Rats.
I'll give some of the details.
Okay, so she probably passed away. He's suffering from Alzheimer's. Mm-hmm. Nobody there to take care of him.
Exactly.
And then dies.
Wanders around the house.
Yeah.
And then...
And the space heater next to her, I'm thinking he was probably she feels cold. I'm going to plug this in for her.
Maybe. So Dr. Heather Jarrell, chief medical investigator for the state's office of the medical investigator, said Hackman's death was from hypertensive and atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease with Alzheimer's disease as a significant contributing factor. She said Mr. Hackman showed evidence of advanced Alzheimer's disease. He was in very poor state of health, had significant heart disease, and I think ultimately that is what resulted in his death. Arakawa, who was 65, died from the hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, a rare disease transmitted through rodent urine droppings or saliva. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention said the disease initially causes flu-like symptoms, and that can progress to more severe illness where people have trouble breathing. And those who contract hantavirus are after being exposed to rodent excrement, often feel ill for roughly 3 to 6 days. They can then transition to that pulmonary phase where they have fluid in their lungs and around their lungs. And at that point, a person could die very quickly within 24 to 48 hours, roughly speaking, without medical treatment. Hackman was likely home with his deceased wife for about a week before he died.
That? Oh, my God.
There was no food in his stomach, which means he had not eaten recently. But he also had no evidence of dehydration, officials said. But it's quite possible that he was not aware that she was deceased. They said, though, it's a difficult question to answer because it's just, guessing at this point. But how sad is that?
Incredibly
how terrible
sad.
Is that?
This horrifying domino effect.
Yeah. Hackman was discovered on the floor in the mudroom, and it appeared that he fell suddenly, according to a search warrant. He had suffered from severe heart disease, like we said, including multiple surgical procedures involving the heart, evidence of prior heart attacks, and severe changes of the kidneys due to chronic high blood pressure. His initial pacemaker data revealed cardiac activity on February 17th, with subsequent pacemaker interrogation demonstrating an abnormal rhythm of atrial fibrillation on February 18th, which was the last record of heart activity. He tested negative for the hantavirus, so he didn't have that.
Yeah.
She was found lying on her side on the floor of the bathroom with a space heater near her body, according to the search warrant. Kathy, that's not too far off the mark as to maybe it's just where his mind was. He didn't know.
Stop and think about it. So she's younger by decades. She's the one that dies first.
Yep.
In this chain of events.
And probably was his caretaker.
Yeah, absolutely. They
certainly
said everyone who knew them said he would have died long ago.
Her body showed signs of decomposition. There was mummification to her hands and feet. On the counter near her was an opened prescription bottle with pills scattered. The pills were determined to be a thyroid medication. It was being taken as prescribed and did not appear to have any contribution to her death. One of the couple's 3 dogs was found dead in a crate about 10 to 15 feet from Arakawa's body, but the other 2 dogs were found alive, and it appeared that they had access to a doggy door, so they were able to get out and find something to eat or drink.
Yeah.
But one was found near the body, her body, and the other one was located outside. So just a tragic ending, man.
Crazy.
Terrible, terrible story. But, I mean, it's, they've obviously cleared it up. There was no foul play, and it was just a series of circumstances that were just unfortunate. So sad news there. All right, I have a few other lighter stories to get into. We'll start with this one. At South by Southwest in Austin, a lone protester demonstrated outside the premiere of Blake Lively's Another Simple Favor against a movie star and in support of Justin Baldini. She had a sign that read, "Justice for Justin Baldani, I'm sorry, as well as a shirt that said, "Blake lied." So this particular protester seems to have a history of showing up to support men that were accused of things like sexual harassment. The posting history is said to show them supporting Johnny Depp during his defamation trial against Amber Heard, as well as Marilyn Manson, who was accused of sexual assault and domestic violence by Evan Rachel Wood. Lively, of course, is suing Baldani, and that whole thing drags on. Speaking of her, with her embroiled in that whole thing, celeb watchers are following her every move more closely than ever. And one YouTuber started rumors flying by insisting that Anna Kendrick's response to questions about working with Lively on Another Simple Favor pointed to friction between the two. As that theory left the launch pad, Paul Feig, the director of the film, moved in to shoot it down. When the YouTuber had written, "I just reported on Blake being terrified to walk the carpet as Anna is pissed and never wants to work with her again," Feig himself responded with, "You're wrong." And that's pretty much it. So it's just a rumor, but I doubt there's any truth to it. After years of thinking it over for a long, long time, more than 7 years now, Rebecca Gayheart has decided not to pull the trigger on her divorce from Eric Dane.
You hardly ever hear stories like this. I mean, 7 years in the making. This thing's been going through the system, and they hang a 180. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, so Us Weekly reports
Look, it worked for Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez.
The Gayheart requested a dismissal last week of the divorce petition she initially filed in February 2018. At that time, the reason given for the filing, was irreconcilable differences, but maybe not so much. They've been married since 2004. They have 2 kids, and they're gonna try to work it out.
Doesn't she have a mechanical homicide in her background?
I think you are correct about that, Steve. Yeah, it was a car accident.
Yeah, years ago.
Natalie Portman is reportedly getting back in the saddle when it comes to romance a year after divorcing Benjamin Millipede, or Pete, or however you say his name.
The guy with all those legs.
People magazine reports the actress is now dating French musician and music producer Tanguy Destable.
I love Tanguy. His name is Tanguy Decibel would be a perfect musician name.
So it's Tanguy.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right.
Or Tanguy.
Tanguy. You're such a Tanguy.
Destable at Destable.
Okay.
That's weird.
All
right. So anyhow, Natalie and Thousand Legs were married for 11 years, and they share 2 children.
I put my pants on one of my 1,000 legs at a time.
All right, so we've all dealt with company reps on the phone who obviously plow through their script no matter what you have to say to them, and it can be frustrating, yet sometimes pretty funny, as is the case of Spencer Pratt. Now, Pratt shared with his followers how a Spectrum rep, that Spectrum Cable, was insisting that he return his cable box because he canceled his subscription, a decision made because his house had been leveled in the Los Angeles wildfires, that they want their cable box back.
Yeah.
So to prove a point, Pratt went back to the torched house, and in a video clip, he lifts up the charred cable box saying, "Good news, Spectrum. I'm pretty sure that this is the box you guys had asked if I still had." A spokesperson for Spectrum told TMZ customers will not be charged for equipment damage in the fires, and our agents are instructed to not ask for equipment to be returned, and we are reviewing the agent instructions to make sure that our communication is clear.
So Spectrum is the Comcast of the Pacific area, Pacific Coast.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Yeah, there's a few. They're all over the country, but that might be their region. Yeah, Steve. Let's see here. So, till death do us part, or not? Emily Osment. She's sibling to Joel and.
I think it's her birthday today.
Yeah, it is her birthday. I missed it earlier. Emily Osment has filed for divorce from Jack Anthony after just 5 months of wedded bliss.
Well, they gave it a good try.
They tied the knot in October 2024 with the separation date on the divorce filings of September 7th. So make that less than 2 months of wedded bliss. And a statement to People, Osment said, I think with any big decision in your life, whether it's relationships or work or whatever it may be, well, you have to firmly plant both feet in that decision.
They'll always have the first 2 weeks of January.
And she said, ultimately, it didn't work out. So
she's in that sequel to Young Sheldon with a brother and his wife. I think it's, forget the name, but it's basically their first marriage.
Georgie and Mandy's first marriage?
Yeah.
She was also in Young Sheldon, too. So
Spinoff?
That's the spinoff of Young Sheldon. Yeah.
So John Goodman had a bit of a fall. He took a tumble on the set for an untitled Tom Cruise flick. Sources tell TMZ he is already on the mend, though. The statement said the
carrying hookers on his back like nobody's business.
The veteran actor experienced a hip injury and production.
You got to lighten on the hookers, dude.
Resumes shooting next week following John's full recovery. I will never, ever forget that.
I love that image of him bursting out of the back of the strip club.
You'll never forget that, or Steve saying that it was a hooker.
No, I'll never forget seeing John Goodman with a stripper. He was carrying her piggyback. As God is my witness.
I believe you.
Yeah.
He was known to party.
Yeah. And he has a roots in that St. Louis area. He grew up in this area called Afton. And I was there and I'm like, dude, that was John Goodman. And I'll retell the story very quickly. It was behind the bar.
Yeah.
There was a manager's door that went into some area unknown to me. And all of a sudden I see him come out of that door with a stripper on his back.
Yeah.
Behind the bar. And he goes from that door into the bar area. And then he went into another door. And that was it. And he was gone. And that was all that I saw.
What did I just see?
It was unbelievable. I'm pretty sure it was the Diamond Cabaret. But I'll never forget that.
You
all right.
Burned into your mind.
Yeah. So, yes, he, according to the statement, he had experienced a hip injury, and production resumes shooting next week following his full recovery. The Secret film, directed by Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu, features a star-studded cast, including Tom Cruise, Jesse Plemons, and Riz Ahmed. And it's been a tough year for John, though, because he lost his home in the Pacific Palisades wildfire, making this just another rough patch for the legendary actor, who also missed out on SNL 50, the anniversary show, to film this particular project. Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos reportedly spared no expense to push out longtime James Bond producer Barbara Broccoli after she allegedly had called Amazon execs idiots.
And she did.
According to insiders, Bezos, quote, got on the phone and said, I don't care what it costs, get rid of her.
And when he says he doesn't care what it costs, you're in for a world of hurt.
Big time. The move gives Amazon full creative control over the 007 franchise for the first time, and in the Broccoli's family's 6-decade reign.
So he's a huge Bond fan, and he's kind of a Bond purist. So this could be good. It could be bad as well. The one thing I hope they don't do is what they've been talking about, which are like, we talked about this last week, over milking the property, like, multiple series and franchises and stuff. It tends to kill it.
Yeah.
So, and it's kind of on wobbly legs right now as it is.
Yeah, a lot of fans aren't thrilled, fearing that they'll ruin the franchise, while former James Bond Daniel Craig himself says that his respect and admiration and love for Broccoli and her team remain constant. As for the next Bond, Aaron Taylor Johnson is still the front runner for many fans, but no official announcement as of yet. We'll see if something comes up in the near future. I meant to mention this last week. Steve, you sent this over to me, but this debuted last Friday. Deli Boys.
Yeah.
On Hulu is a new comedy about two spoiled Pakistani-American brothers who inherit their late father's deli, and it takes place in Philadelphia. They discovered, though, that it's actually a front for a drug empire.
The clips that I saw look pretty damn funny.
I watched it over the weekend. It's really good.
Is it?
They mention a lot of things, like a little, somebody talks about getting their eyebrows waxed on Washington Avenue, and there's lots of like Philly nods.
These guys have a kind of it seems to have a kind of a Harold and Kumar vibe to it, doesn't Marisa?
Ish.
Yeah.
And the guy went to Drexel.
Oh,
that
cool.
created it.
Did they shoot some of it here? Do we know?
I don't think so.
Okay.
There's nothing Philly about it. There is another show coming out on Apple that's based in Philly too. It's coming out in a couple weeks.
Any idea what it's about or who's in it or anything?
No, I
of
watched the trailer. It's called Dope something. It's about
Amanda
guys,
Seyfried's in this?
Is that the Amanda Seyfried one?
Amanda Seyfried is doing one that was not shot here but takes place here.
Yeah, she did a ride-along thing here in town.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that one. This one is about two guys that pretend to be DEA agents and rob drug houses of all the drugs. But Deli Boy is very good. I highly recommend it. It's funny.
All right, cool.
That is out on Hulu now. I was excited to watch this morning. Fans of The Last of Us are finally getting a glimpse at what season 2 will look like. Audiences at the series South by Southwest panel were treated to a new trailer, which is now out everywhere. The second season will feature a time jump 5 years after the events of season 1. It'll bring back Pedro Pascal, Bella Ramsey, Gabrielle Luna, and Rutina Wesley. New cast members include Isabella Merced. She's playing Dina. Ariella Bearer as Mel. Tati Gabrielle as Nora. Spencer Lord as Owen. Danny Ramirez as Manny. And Jeffrey Wright as Isaac. And also Catherine O'Hara is going to be guest starring as well.
So that's a stellar cast. They're bringing back, they're bringing in the iterations of the mutants, which is cool. And impressive. You saw the clip of the snow. They're in the snow and they're coming out of the snow, which is very cool.
Yep.
Again, they have enough left in the original first game to kind of play with. They're taking a lot of liberties, but they're also holding true to some of the original story stuff. That, having just finished playing through the first game again, which was so freaking good, the second game is not good. It's just not good. And I hope that it's okay if they cast away some of those plot lines, because it infuriated fans of the game, and I'm sure would infuriate viewers of the show.
So the series returns to Max on April 13th, and that'll be here, and before you know it, excited. Justin Lin, the director of films like F9 and Star Trek Beyond, is set to direct the Netflix adaptation of Keanu Reeves' hit comic Berserker. Reeves is going to star in the film as Berserker himself. And Berserker looks like him. It's like, it's based on him, or well, he created it. The story follows an immortal warrior known only as B, fighting battles on behalf of the U.S. government deemed too violent and too dangerous for anyone else in exchange for answers about his cursed existence. The comic has been a massive success, selling over 3.5 million copies worldwide. And if that's not enough, the Berserker novel, the book of Elsewhere, became a New York Times bestseller last year. So Keanu's got all kinds of irons in the fire.
Guys, cook it along. You look at the franchises that he's been a part of.
Yep.
Do you remember the Berserker song from Clerks?
No.
I can't. Well, it's really dirty. But the Russian guy that hangs out with Jay and Silent Bob sings it. He goes, "Do you want to suck my berserker?"
Oh my God.
And then at one point, I think it's Randall's like, "Did you just say making F?" But it's Kevin Smith with a whole lot of curse words in it. It's a very, very funny scene.
Man, I have not seen Clerks in ages.
Yeah, it holds up.
Go back.
It's 1994. It's black and white. It's his first film, but it's still damn good.
All right, and then one last story. Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos is finally breaking into acting, but his first gig isn't in a Netflix show. Ted is going to make a cameo in The Studio, the upcoming comedy from Seth Rogen, which streams on Apple TV+. Rogen plays Matt Remick, the new head of a Hollywood movie studio. While details are tight on what Ted is up to in the show, apparently involves a character encounter between Matt and Ted. Ted had joked saying, after 25 years in Hollywood secretly, what I was really hoping for was to be discovered for the silver screen. Of course, it was my friend Seth Rogen who saw my certain something and cast me. He also promised an for your consideration campaign for my guest appearance. So it was an offer that I couldn't refuse. So
everybody loves working with that dude.
with Seth Rogen.
Well, no, with Sandros.
Sarandos.
Sarandos. Yeah, they say that he's a good guy.
So the studio premieres March 26th, and that will be on Apple TV Plus. Do we have clips today?
We do, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent. Thank you, Marissa. All right, drum roll, please. Patrick Schwarzenegger, son of Arnold Schwarzenegger, has been casted in the new season of The White Lotus. And in this clip, he tells how excited his family was for him getting the role.
I didn't want to say, but eventually I was like, okay, I'm just going to say it. And my fiance knew this moment was coming, so she put the phone up to film it. But then my mom screamed that she puts it down and got so awkward. And then she brought it back up and started videoing it again.
Kathy, I think he's the jerk older brother.
Yeah. Yes. God, I can't stand him.
I think that's him. I'm not. Is that him?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
That's him.
I've only watched the first episode, so I'm just dipping my toe in it. You can already tell this guy's just a
I can't.
10-bell douchebag.
Yeah, I can't stand him.
He gets butt naked, right?
Yeah.
A lot of them do.
I mean, you don't see the front, but you definitely see the full back.
A new episode of White Lotus is out now on Max. Here's our next clip. Danny McBride plays Jesse Gemstone, the eldest of 3 rich children in The Righteous Gemstones, a show that depicts a family of televangelists and megachurch pastors led by widowed patriarch Eli Gemstone. And in this clip, McBride talks about how much more crude and raunchy... How is that even possible?
I don't know.
How much more crude and raunchy their new season is going to be. Here we go.
I like to hang dong in this show, and I think we really push the limits of our dong hanging this season. We have a lot of dongs of every age and shape, so hopefully fans will appreciate it.
Yeah! That's awesome.
The final season of The Righteous Gemstones is out now on Max. All right, and there you go. Your entertainment report for today, gang. We welcome you to a Monday morning. Here we are at 7:05. Sunrise officially at 7:20 now with the time change.
Yes.
It'll be along shortly. We have a different composition in the studio this morning as Casey Boy is out for the next 3 days. He will be joining us in Clearwater. That's the next time we will see him in person. We will see him via the magic of Zoom live from Verona, Italy.
He is consulting the Italian Preston and Steve show.
In the 8 o'clock hour this morning, we will check in with him. Now, his son, Seamus, is there for a rugby tournament, and Case is over there. So we're going to see how things are treating. Casey's never been to Italy before.
No, he was a little nervous and thrilled at the same time.
So we'll see what he thinks about it when we check in with him a little bit later on this morning. So, all right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back in a moment. We'll allow that sun to do a little bit more work and shine the way on the way in for you. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
And relive it. Marissa just held up 3 fingers. I don't know what that means.
One in the pink, 2 in the stink.
It wasn't that 3. Oh. What?
3 minutes, I can get it.
Okay, thank you, Marissa.
So 2 in this thing.
So maybe we'll kind of reinvigorate this thing. But we have decided to return with Battle of the Self-Proclaimed Experts this morning.
Yes.
And when I tell you that the passion was high for people to that have sent in requests to be a part of this, it's an understatement. It was just fanatical.
It is a global phenomenon.
Yes.
Has been for a long time. People have been raised in this Harry Potter realm, and so we knew we were going to get some staunch competitors.
I read a lot of the submissions that were sent in. I read all the submissions that were sent in, and I read several of them. I was on the plane the other day flying out west, and I was brought to tears by some of these submissions because this world means so much to so many people, and the way that they articulated it was really moving to me, and I'm just impressed. It was so difficult to narrow it down to 2 final contestants.
I mean, put it in perspective. A tick came into the studio to watch.
That's right. That's how popular
That's how
this is.
popular.
I am currently reading the Harry Potter books.
Are you?
I'm on the Sorcerer's... Or no, I'm sorry. I'm on the Chamber of Secrets right now, so I've just gotten started.
Reading or Audible?
Audible.
And who's doing it? Who's doing the
I've forgotten the actor's name.
Jim something or other.
He's excellent.
Hey, there might be a question coming up.
Okay.
So I'm about 3/4 of the way through the second book.
Awesome.
So I'm underway. I'm starting to learn. I've seen all the movies and I found them entertaining, but I wanted to know because there's so many people that you talk to about this story. There's so much more underneath when you dive into the canon of it all, when you get into the all the details about it. And I want to know that. I mean, I want to know. I think it's a kind of a club that you're in.
So all of my nieces and nephews, like I remember when we started coming out, and I was like, "Oh, that's friggin' awesome! I loved it."
Yeah.
They were like, "But they left out. But they left out." And there was so much stuff so they were able to enjoy them, but they were a little deflated because the books, they devoured. They were ravenous for them. So I think you're entering a cool realm here, Preston.
By the way, Nick McElwain wearing his Gryffindor attire this morning.
Yes, sir.
He has pajamas.
Yes.
That look like a robe.
It's the closest thing I have to a robe, but they are officially licensed Harry Potter pajamas, and so I am a Gryffindor, and that's why I'm
Mr. Potter, what happened to your head?
You have taken the online quiz to find out which house you belong in?
Yes. I'm a Gryffindor.
Oh, you did?
Okay. Yeah.
Pottermore was a great website. I don't think it actually exists anymore, which is too bad. But I mean, I've been in the Harry Potter universe for a really long time. I think I got into it maybe when the third book came out. And Steve, I love the movies as well, but the books really do add layers and levels and these just the intricacies to this universe, and it's why people keep coming back to it, because there's so much to read, there's so much to rediscover, and maybe you didn't even notice it the first time around.
And not only has Nick worn his pajamas, but he brought in his wand, and so did Steve.
Yes, I did.
And you guys both got those at Universal Studios?
This was a gift for me from Universal Studios, yeah. So my friend that went and knew how much I loved Harry Potter and brought it back for me.
And you haven't been there?
I have not yet, no.
Oh, my God!
I know.
You've got to go. It's incredible.
I did a couple of the tours in London, which were amazing. But yes, I absolutely have to get to Universal.
That's the only thing I know about Harry Potter is that the rides were fun at Universal.
Right.
Literally.
Kathy, it is a whole world. I went to Ollivanders. You did as well, Preston. On your recommendation.
My daughter got a wand fitting there.
And yes, and when you go around the town, the wand activates certain things in
that's
town,
cool,
which is awesome.
Yeah.
I've been to both. I've been in the one in California and in Orlando, and they are outstanding.
I gotta go.
You won't, if you're a fan,
it's real.
You're going to cry.
That world is real.
All right.
Some of the people that sent in submissions said that when they got there, then they saw the Hogwarts castle, it brought them to tears.
I believe
that's how moving it is, yeah.
All right, and by the way, Harry Potter fans are adorable. Look at these guys here this morning. We're going to meet our contestants.
Preston and Steve present Battle of the Self-Proclaimed Experts.
As Nick had said, we had loads and loads and loads of entries, but going through, we've got to narrow it down to two. And I'm sure that there are people that are incredibly well-versed, but we only have room for two people in our studio. And so that's how we're doing it, to have these two competitors battle it out. Mano a mano. All right, so let's meet our contestants, and we'll read the emails that we got from them. We're going to start with this one. It says, dude, I grew up with HP and obsessed. I was born in 89, so I was right out of the same age as Harry, right around the same age as Harry and his compadres, or his comrades, it says, as the books were released and they made their way through Hogwarts, ultimately not returning for education in year 7 as the Dark Lord has by that point hit full strength, obviously. I have lightly reread parts of the books since childhood, but made it my goal to reread all 7 books once I finished grad school, Master of Public Administration at Penn State, woot woot. My husband bought me a Gryffindor blanket, a book of spells as a grad gift as well, and I graduated in December 2020 and finished the books last month. Literally, the best books I've ever read, and I have no idea how to move on from them. It's really just a story about friendship and the power of love.
True.
I was brought to tears in books 5, 6, 7, and would say that my favorite books are 3 and 6. 7 is also just absolutely epic. My next goal is to rewatch the full versions of the movies. I went to Universal Studios California back in 2017 and wore a Harry Potter costume to Hogwarts. For the above reasons, I would say I am the Harry Potter expert. It's about both knowledge and sheer passion for the story, the most epic tale ever told. Please welcome Steph Rosenbluth to the show. Hi, Steph. How you doing? Oh, wait. Your microphone is not working. Let me try that again. Go ahead.
I am so happy to be here.
Yay. Steph, where are you from?
I'm from central New Jersey, Hopewell Township, right across the river from Bucks County.
It does exist.
Okay, so is that north-south Jersey or south-north Jersey?
Right in the armpit of the Delaware River.
There you go.
All right, I want to ask you, Steph, because Steph is wearing a shirt that's got all 4 houses on it, but it says Hogwarts on it. She's also wearing a robe. She brought her owl. Is that Hedwig?
It's Hedwig.
Nice. And tell me about your glasses.
They are round glasses.
Are they prescription?
They are not prescription.
Okay.
They are just merely for this competition. Yeah.
They look great.
And social events.
Nice. So you recently reread all the books.
I did, yes. It was my goal, and I still don't know how to move on. Interestingly, while rereading the books, I was also rewatching Lord of the Rings extended version. So I was in quite the wizarding world.
Well, there's the amount of minutia, the amount of stuff to keep track of. But I mean, that's the books, the extended movie versions of the original Harry Potter, of the movies. And a lot of times they're tacking on an additional half hour, 40 minutes.
Yeah. Which character do you identify with the best?
Wow,
Or
which
most?
character? Probably Luna Lovegood.
Okay.
She says whatever's on her mind. People kind of think she's weird, but once they get to know her, they realize she has a heart of gold, and she's actually very important to the story and to Harry's success in defeating Voldemort.
I love that. Great answer. Our next contestant writes, I was hooked on the series the first time I read Sorcerer's Stone and bawled my eyes out the day after my 11th birthday when I didn't get my invitation to attend Hogwarts for the upcoming school year. I read the series countless times as a child and still reread my favorites every year. I read the series countless times. Nope, I read that part already. Let me go back to this. And I reread the story every year, every Christmas, to get in the holiday spirit. Growing up, my family and I went to the premiere screening of the latest movie, and what started as my obsession turned into full-out family affair as I got the rest of my family hooked on the magic of the Harry Potter universe. We traveled to Universal Studios' Wizarding World of Harry Potter when I was 19, and I remember seeing the top of the Hogwarts castle and instantly burst into tears. I can definitely recite every movie from start to finish, and I'm always the go-to person when someone has a question about their Harry Potter timeline or whether or not Snape really was a good guy. For years, my friends and I would watch the full 8 movies in a marathon event. We would bake snitch cake pops, craft sorting hat cupcakes, and brew our very own butterbeer, all while playing Harry Potter trivia and discussing our favorite moments from the series. There really is something special about the magic that J.K. created, and I would love to put my knowledge to the test. Gang, welcome Lauren DiStefano. Love it. Hi, Lauren. How you doing?
I'm good.
All right, so tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from?
I'm from Downingtown, Pennsylvania.
From Downingtown, Pennsylvania. What do you do?
I work at a law office now.
Oh, really?
There you go.
Okay, nice.
You can employ spells in changing a witness's testimony. You bring up something that I thought was really cool, and I think of it this the same way. For some reason, I perceive Harry Potter, the movies, as Christmas time fare.
Every single movie has a Christmas scene.
Right. And so it's always applicable. Yeah, no.
And so, Lauren, how long have you been listening to the Preston and Steve show?
Probably my whole life. My parents are Y100 listeners, and we had
nice.
like the CDs, and I was like, oh, that's the only station is Preston and Steve. So I just didn't know.
We were our own station, the Preston and Steve station.
So you're wearing a Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry shirt this morning, and you're wearing some funky-looking glasses.
Yes,
what are
they
those?
Luna Lovegood's glasses.
Those are Luna Lovegood's glasses.
Oh, wow.
So she can see everything.
Okay, that's beautiful. And would I'd asked Steph who she identified with, and she said Lovegood. What about you?
I think, my favorite character is Sirius. I love him so much. I love his arc of being the villain to the good guy, but never getting the redemption of it. But everyone who loves and knows him knows he was the good guy.
You mean Severus?
No, Sirius.
Oh, Sirius.
Black.
Oh, Sirius Black. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
out
right.
of prison, and everybody's like, and then he finally at the very end, they're like, oh yeah, he was a good guy all along.
Okay.
Wow.
I just loved him.
Oh, you guys are the real deal.
Well, we're going to put you to the test, guys. All right. Are you ready to get this underway?
Ready.
All right.
Ready.
Let's test your. Now we have. You guys are going to be buzzing, and I'm going to explain the rules. But let's just test your bells and see how it sounds. Steph. That's Steph's bell, and this is Lauren's bell. So a little bit of a different tone to each, so we can tell the difference, and we should be able to hear that. Okay. All right. Let's get this underway. and tell you guys how we're going to be rolling this out for Battle of the So-Called Experts. There are 3 rounds, and they increase in difficulty. We will begin with the easiest questions, and they will be worth 1 point each. There are 4 questions per round.
Okay.
Second round, the questions are worth 2 points. And the third round, the questions are worth 5 points. So even if you're behind going into the third round, it can really change, and you can end up winning because of the difficulty level. Now, I will ask you a question. You have to buzz in to answer. If you get that question correct, you get points. Now, here's what I want you to keep in mind. If you buzz in while I'm asking the question, and I haven't finished the question yet, I will stop, and you will have to answer based only on what I've said so far. If you're incorrect, your opponent will get to hear the rest of the clue and also answer that question, and they get a benefit because they'll hear your incorrect answer. They'll hear the rest of the clue and might have a better shot at getting that. So keep that in mind as I ask the questions, whether or not you're ready to buzz in. And by the way, we will have a tiebreaker if necessary. If we have a tie at the end of the game, we'll have a tiebreaker question that is ready to go. And the winner. All right, thank you very much, Kathy. So we have a bit of an announcement to make. This is really cool. This is now available, and you can see this on our social media accounts. You'll be able to see this at PrestonandSteve.com. But the official video that was created by our friends at Camelot Productions of the Cardboard Classic is now available for your viewing.
Nice.
So Camelot, these guys do, and they did an amazing video at Camp Out for Hunger. But obviously the scope of the Cardboard Classic is a little more kinetic and for what's happening and everything. But the stuff they get their drones to do and the edits that they put together really encapsulate the excitement of the day. And you get a good close-up look at how things went at Cardboard Classic this year.
Throw so much energy into it. It also gives us an idea of all the stuff we're missing when we're in doing the show.
Yeah.
There's this cool shot when they go goggles to goggles.
Yes.
For the people.
Yeah.
Like, how cool is that?
Yeah, so they zoom in. We have these really big goggles, and it shows me wearing them, and it shows it scrolls through a bunch of different people that are wearing similar goggles in this montage. And they cover all the big sleds working their way down the crowd. Obviously, the live music, the aerial shots. They went way up high and took some really cool vid.
I don't think you can get any more kinetic than this video.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about a hype video. It's what they specialize in.
Absolutely. And you can hire these guys. You can check out our video and go to their Camelot page. Camelot spelled with a K, by the way. And so make sure you like, you comment, you share, and follow Camelot Productions for more amazing videos like this. But they do stuff with the Sixers, and it's really cool stuff.
They could turn a game of backgammon into a supercharged, high energy video.
And who knows? If you were there, you might see yourself in the video. So you will want to take a look at that.
Where is it? Where's the video?
It's on Instagram right now.
Okay.
It's on the Preston and Steve Instagram page. But is it on PrestonandSteve.com yet?
It will be shortly.
Okay.
Maybe during this break.
Yeah, when you get a chance, take a look at it because we love the association with these guys. So thank you, Camelot Productions, and everybody who was a part of the Cardboard Classic at Montage Mountain this year. So if you're just tuning in, Casey's out today. We are going to be checking in with him this morning, though. He's in Italy. He's in Verona, Italy. His son, Seamus, his rugby team from Prep, from St. Joe's Prep, is playing over there. So Casey's over there. Anybody else from his family? I think the whole family is there.
Because they took it broke Casey's heart to do it, but they had to board Reggie, his dog, his favorite dog, which they've never had to do, but they did with someone who handles. He made sure it was at a good place. That tore him up, so I said, "Okay, this is the big deal." Whole family over there right now.
Yeah, so we'll check in with him next about an hour from now and see how things are.
I didn't realize that he'd never been there.
To Italy?
Yeah. I didn't realize this was his first time. That's cool.
Yeah, it should be pretty awesome for him. I mean, it's a quick trip. I mean, really, 3-4 days in Italy.
He's not going to sop it all up. You've been, yes?
A long time ago. I went to Venice, was the only part of Italy that I've been to, but I've never been to Rome and, Milan or any of the other really cool cities to check out.
Got to get there. My wife's been many times and people rave over it. I love the first picture he sent when he arrived in Italy. You want to explain what it was?
Yeah, it was a guy wearing a Rocky hoodie.
Of course.
In Italy.
Of course.
He's like, this is the first guy I saw. So funny. So we'll check up with him. So my right-hand person is Marisa, filling in Casey's spot here in the studio, taking care of all the Casey does a gazillion things throughout the course of the show. So this puts a lot on Marisa, especially. She knows what to do. But when you're thrown into it on the first day, it's like, oh, my God, here we go.
A little rusty.
So we'll get through it. By Wednesday, we'll have it down pat,
exactly.
you and me. But anyhow, there was something you wanted to tell us.
I did. So I think I'm going to make Kathy so proud of me and hate me in less than a sentence. I started to pack last night.
Oh, yay!
Wow.
Good girl.
I'm all packed.
I
did it yesterday. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, so I just started to get ready. So I was like, all right, I got to pull summer stuff out because we need shorts and whatever.
Marisa is literally the person who, hey, we have to leave for the airport in 15 minutes. All right, I'm going to go pack real quick.
I got to run home and pack.
Yeah.
You've done that before.
Oh, 100%. So I'll just tell you
But
guys.
and here's the thing, you don't look a mess. Like if I did that, I would get to where I was going and be like, have nothing that matched, or different shoes. Like I wouldn't be able to pull
like
it
you walked
together.
out of hee-haw.
Stressed about what you forgot and all that. Yep.
The only thing I'm guilty of is overpacking because then I can't make those edits. I don't have time for the edits.
Right. And you're supposed to go the proper process is the initial pack, a refining pack, and then your final pack. If you're going away on a long trip, this is a couple of days, shorts and T-shirts. It's not a lot.
I had a suitcase that I haven't unpacked since September 8th.
What?
Oh my God.
Wait a minute. So were you able to use any of the stuff in that suitcase for this trip?
It's everything I needed for this trip.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I love it.
So you're packed because you're just bringing whatever was in there?
So I've had a suitcase in my closet. And I started to unpack it last night, and I realized it's the suitcase I had packed for Brazil
That's
that
fantastic.
I got home
At the beginning of the Eagle season?
on September 8th or 9th.
I can't. Don't give me a shot.
I'm kind of proud of you.
Okay.
I think that's pretty.
Now-
that's efficient.
Are some of those clothes dirty that are in there, though?
Okay. I'm so glad you bring that up because I do want to share with you guys the way that I travel. So I always bring some sort of bag, or I take the laundry bag. And so all of my dirty clothes go into the bag. So as soon as I come home, I open up my suitcase or my bag. I pull that out. That's the laundry. And then everything
put it
else.
away
You
for
zip
half a
it
year.
back up.
Zip it
Leave
back up.
everything else in there.
Store it for half a year.
Well, so I was justifying it. And I was thinking last week, you guys were talking about
You can't justify this.
some people are storage unit people, and I live in a condo, and I don't necessarily have a lot of space. So I am a storage unit person. I grew up in a storage unit family. We always had extra space, so it's just my mental state.
By the way, the worst sitcom ever, The Storage Unit Family.
And so normally I'll bring my summer clothes to the storage unit and switch them out with my winter clothes. So I have Tupperware containers, but you know that it takes a while. Am I supposed to go grab my spring clothes now?
Yeah.
Now's the time, but it's still cold out, whatever. So my suitcase just became my storage unit for my summer clothes.
Your summer clothes. So you got your summer clothes. You're all ready to go.
I counted. I have taken 3 flights since that trip to Brazil. I went to Denver twice, and I went to
Did you pack in a
New
different
Orleans.
suitcase?
I just
You're
used my
traveling a
backpack.
lot. You've been traveling a lot, especially to go see your husband.
Yeah, exactly.
In Denver. So that's been something that's been sort of constant.
But I tell you guys, I do that frontier thing. So I literally just travel with a backpack. It's actually made me much more of an efficient traveler.
Right.
I can make it even more tighter of a trip now because there's no worry about getting my luggage up in a bin. I just walk in, I have a book bag, I put it under the seat in front of me, and I fly. I'm that easy.
See, so with you, it's cool. I mean, really, honestly, you could just go to any toy store, grab some doll clothing, and you'd be set.
Yep.
I crack up, though, because we are just complete opposite. When I come home with a suitcase, after this week/weekend, when I come home, everything in my suitcase will have been worn and dirty and have to come out and get washed. There won't be one extra piece of clothing in there.
There won't be one extra outfit. I mean,
Everything's
maybe one or
accounted
two, but everything.
There might be no, there won't. There won't. Because I know exactly, I have in my head exactly what I'm going to do. Everything, maybe there'll be an extra pair of underwear or socks because I'll pack 9 of them and we're going for 4 days.
I pack the stuff for Cardboard Classic. Excuse me, I had a bubble in my throat. So I had toiletries and underwear and stuff and anything that I didn't use in Cardboard Classic bag is going to Florida with me. That was only a week and a half ago. And so I haven't fully unpacked that bag. Marisa, is there anything in the suitcase that you've been missing for the last 7 months?
Yeah.
You
You're
look,
there
you
it
go
is.
in there, you're like, Oh yeah, I like
There's
this
my birth
outfit.
control.
No, I think I've definitely worn things out of that suitcase though since. Like, I'm more of just like a handful of underwear person instead of like, oh, we are gone for 4 days. Let me bring 5 pairs. I'm that person that brought like 9 pairs because our underwear is pretty small. You just like
throw it in
ball
there.
it up and throw it in there.
Yeah.
So I've definitely done that. There may have been like a bra that I had brought and I eventually went looking for it and it was in there. But mostly it was just all summer stuff that comes out this weekend, guys.
When I'm traveling and I come back home, I clean out the entire luggage. Everything goes away. The one thing I do though is I have 2 pieces of luggage and a suit bag. And all of them are toiletries that are just always set there. My old travel size is ready to go. So
And
I never
you'll
even
leave that in?
Right. So right now, I had to wait for Claire to get back to, we're going through all the laundry and stuff like that. So today I can actually pack my clothing, but I have a list of what I'm bringing. And what do you think I'm going to bring? Shorts, of course.
And a t-shirt.
Yeah. But also you have to make the decision of what you're going to travel to the airport in. Right. But I mean, yes, the notion of when I walk through that door, I go upstairs, I open up my bag on the bed, and I clean it out.
Steve, I'm the same. Not only do I clean it out, the clothes don't even go into the hamper. They go directly into the washer. So I will be done my wash the day I get home from wherever I'm traveling.
There you go.
When traveling, Kathy, do you put any of your dirty clothes next to your clean clothes? Like if you're in a hotel for a week?
So I will, I'll fold the dirty clothes and they go back into the suitcase.
They don't go in a laundry bag?
No, because everything in the suitcase is going to be dirty when I get home.
So you unpack when you get to your room.
I see.
You have everything out in drawers and whatnot, and then as you wear them, you fold it up and put it back into your suitcase, and that's the dirty hamper.
It's the dirty luggage. You're
I
bringing it
usually-
back. You've used it all.
I usually hang everything because I
In the
want
hotel?
because I want the wrinkles to fall out and all
I
that.
don't unpack everything when I get to the hotel. Most of it stays in the bag, and I will take it out as I wear it.
Right.
I don't use the drawers. I don't think I ever use drawers. I will occasionally use hangers for stuff that needs to be hung. But yeah, I don't know why. There's something about the drawers that's like, I'm not moving into this place, so I'm not going to pack. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know. I do. I like to. I like to put that stuff in. I like to use. Hey, I'm paying for this whole room. I'm going to
Just
use every
using it
bit
all.
of it. Casey buzzed my balls one time. He's like,
I
"You're
know.
putting that stuff in there." I'm like, "Yeah, that's what it's here for."
Don't you like to hang tapestries behind the bed?
I do.
Yeah.
Just like Best in Show.
You really make it your own. Nick, I have certain compartments in my suitcase. So like where the clean underwear and clean socks will be. So I actually don't unpack those. And then once I wear them, there's another pocket and like it will come, some suitcase will come with like a laundry bag.
Sure.
Then it'll go in that laundry bag and I lay that flat
That's
down
such
at the
a
bottom.
system.
It is, Nick. It is
yeah.
a system.
I'm surprised by the ick, Kathy. Like, I thought, like, you wouldn't want your dirty clothes on your, like, the fabric of your suitcase.
She's saying though that you've expended all your laundry at that
there's
point.
nothing in there.
Nothing
It's
is
just the
pristine. So with me, I'll sometimes it might be in a bag, but it's all in the same in a separate plastic bag, I should say. But I mean, yes, and I take everything out of the bag and I kind of sit it to let it air out a little bit.
And it's not like if it was like I worked out and I had like a sweaty workout outfit, I wouldn't put that in there. I would let that dry out and put that in a bag or like wet bathing suits.
You don't hang it
whatever.
off the balcony.
You surprised me a little bit this morning, Kathy, because you said you're going to check a bag. And to me, a 3 or 4 day trip is not check bag length.
You didn't finish the statement. Why am I checking a bag?
Because Steve's checking a bag.
Right. If somebody else was not checking a bag, I would not be the only person to check a bag. But because Steve is, I'm going to comfortably pack everything in there.
We're all going to be together. Might as well all go to the
If everybody had carry-on, then I'd shove my stuff in a carry-on.
Right.
Steve, you made a joke about my clothing being small. When I was in New Orleans, I literally, because I only had a backpack, so everything was rolled up and very small in there, I just used the nightstand drawer
You
to
really?
put all of my clothes for a whole weekend.
Is there an American Girl doll store near here?
I did get from you, though, your tip about having all of your toiletries just ready to go at all times.
Yes.
So I do have like a separate toothbrush because I used to always just bring my toothbrush and face cream. I got a small face cream.
Stuff that
so
won't,
it's just like grab and go, ready to go.
Stuff that won't, I mean, obviously you're not going to leave, prescription drugs and stuff in there. But I mean, even some of the more resilient vitamins, I'll that I take, I'll leave in there. So it's always ready to go.
Is there anything surprising that you travel with that anybody brings that might be kind of like, oh, that's not a normal thing to take with you?
Sometimes I bring my alarm clock with me because I don't like.
That is not normal.
Right, yeah.
Dude,
I don't like using my phone for my alarm clock.
I just recently went all phone, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I always had a backup alarm clock, a travel alarm clock.
For work trips.
Yeah.
So I bring my alarm clock to Camp Out for Hunger because we stay in South Philly for that week, and I'll bring it this week for spring training because we got to get up at 4 a.m. So, yeah, I don't like relying on my phone.
And by the way, let me ask you this. Do they even have, with any reliability, wake-up calls at hotels?
I don't know.
I just for the hell of it, tried a couple of times and had them be, either they miss them, they're wildly off the time that I've asked. You can't trust them anymore.
I don't like relying on it.
Yeah.
I think that's how we ended up at our broadcast in Jamaica an hour earlier than we needed to be there.
Yeah.
I think we got a wake-up call.
Yeah, it was a bad wake-up call.
Yeah.
I will bring with me, outside of the regular items, sometimes I'll bring, like, booze with me.
Huh.
Okay.
Pack, like, little, the small bottles in case I want something in the room for a little nip.
What do you usually bring?
Later in the evening?
What's your travel booze
Whiskey.
of choice? Yeah.
Yeah, some type of whiskey that I like.
Flask or an actual bottle?
The little bottles.
little
the
travel bottles.
quote-unquote airplane bottles,
The airplane bottle.
Liquor stores sell those, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. But, I mean, why go to a liquor store?
Yeah.
And bring it. Yeah.
It's right in your suitcase.
Right there. Yeah.
What they should do is have the suitcase and a little nozzle on it so you can just pick the suitcase up.
Yeah, and drink right out of it.
Daddy's thirsty.
Yeah.
Back to the alarm clock. I will check the alarm clocks in the hotel room to make sure that they're not set because I've had a number of times somebody else's alarm go off.
Oh, I've never had that happen.
That's the worst.
So annoying. I'll actually, if I can get behind the bed or whatever, I'll unplug it.
Me too.
Wow.
I had the situation one time years ago where they, you can Bluetooth in your phone into the alarm clock. It's a big thing. They might have like a Bose player there.
Yeah.
Somehow, the person in the room next to me, their musical choices were coming through on my unit.
Wow.
I started buying snacks ahead of time. So
Before the airport?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think
Oh,
this kind of
yeah.
goes with like
Like a movie theater?
well, kind of, but I think it's like, when I leave here and I'm flying to Denver and my flight is at like 12:30, 1 o'clock, and I haven't eaten lunch yet. I probably haven't eaten anything for the whole day yet. And I, instead of going to the airport, getting my normal Chex Mix, and that's like $6 or $7, I'll go to the supermarket ahead of time and I'll get like a little cheese pack,
Okay.
and I'll get a little box of crackers, and then I have like a little charcuterie
Listen,
board,
no,
like
no.
right there, and that whole thing is like $6 itself.
That's what you want to do. I was flying from Florida back, and I said this was a couple of years ago, and I sent you guys a picture. I'm like, guess how much this cost? And it was like a magazine and a little snack, the cheese and meat snack thing, and a drink or something like that.
Peanut M&Ms?
It was like $38.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
But, you're getting the finest cheese pack and M&Ms in the world.
Of course. So, by the way, we got a text from somebody who said they were still packed from this last August.
Yes, beat
Still,
me.
yep. Here's a text says, what was this say? Yeah, my suitcase for my vacation to Florida in August is still packed.
See?
And then another text says that here's an odd thing they bring with them. I pack my diffuser and essential oils for nighttime.
That's the one thing I it's always part of the deal. I bring my Neomed rinse packets, and then when I get into town, I get a gallon of distilled
water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's my thing. It's my jam. I'm tearing the town up tonight.
Steve, have you ever had it delivered, like use Amazon or something
No.
delivery? You get it delivered right to the hotel, so it's waiting there.
I've flirted with that notion of sending stuff that way. I know a lot of people who like to send stuff ahead of time, and
we did that for our last summer vacation, and in part it was because we got married out west, so we had some stuff that we wanted to ship out. But
how effective was it?
It's so effective.
Okay.
It was at the hotel when we got there, Steve, and it just, whatever it is to check the bags, it's expensive, it's kind of annoying, and we were carrying a lot of stuff, we were bringing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was easy, and you could just ship it right to the hotel.
So what'd you order?
We shipped some of our stuff to the hotel from our house rather than pack it or check it.
Okay.
Because it saved some headache, and it was because, Andrea was getting married, and she had a whole bunch of like makeup and wedding dress and all that kind of stuff, so she wanted to ship some of those things out.
The only thing I've done that way, and honestly, this is the name of the company. It's called Shipsticks.
Yes.
And it's for golf clubs.
Yes.
And
You
so
mentioned this before.
I've used Shipsticks.
It was
for
good?
golf clubs. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
things like that, you're skiing, you're bringing scuba gear or whatever, and you send it ahead. To me, that makes the most sense. It is. I haven't done a lot of these things in forever, so I know there are services. There's probably like a ship sticks for scuba equipment, or
probably.
What is the general most comprehensive service if you want to send stuff ahead on a trip? Would you go? Would people say UPS? Would they say FedEx? Or there are other companies that I'm unaware of that?
Probably UPS.
Right?
I would think so.
I've used one of those, and it was not a great experience. It was around Christmas time. I was sending stuff out to Denver for the same reason.
Was it called Iffy Ship?
I forget actually which one it was. It was a UPS or a FedEx, but it ended up not even getting there.
See, that's a problem.
Yeah, but
to
it
me,
was
that's part of the whole arrangement is that it arrives at its destination.
All right, I've got somebody who's got you guys beat. By the way, we're taking calls via Zoom. If you want to chime in, you can text word Zoom to 39333. We're going to go to Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Good morning.
Hey, guys. How
Hi.
are you?
Wonderful. Nice to see you. So Marisa has had her suitcase packed since September. You think you can beat that?
You guys, I am horrible. I am literally horrible. And I'm only horrible because of the restaurant. I used to be very, very organized, more like Kathy. So I literally had a suitcase from 3 years ago. We went to Arkansas.
Uh-huh.
And I have that in a room, and that's open now. And I kind of take things, and I just move them from suitcase to suitcase from when we're going away. And I have my whole upstairs. It was so funny. One time my girlfriend came over, and she couldn't get in the bathroom downstairs. She went upstairs, and I said, how did you get in the bathroom? My son was in the shower. She's like, oh, I went upstairs and I went through your storage room. I'm like, that's not a storage room. I was so embarrassed because it's literally full of suitcases.
So what is the oldest collection of technically unpacked luggage that you have?
Unpacked right now is from Christmas.
Okay, it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Just
Yeah.
from Christmas. Yeah.
How-
And now the Cardboard Classic one has joined that one.
How long have you gone? What is your personal record for not unpacking?
Well, these suitcases literally have been laying around since September of 3 years ago. This September will be 4 years.
Wow.
They just lay there and they're open. And sometimes when people come over, like if they have to go upstairs, like I'll shut them. So it just looks like suitcases.
Right.
I'll open it up and I'll be like, okay, wait a minute. Where's the stuff that I went away with for the summer? And I'll grab that and I'll move it to this one and that one. And as far as like toiletries and all that, I always for years since I was younger have had a toiletry bag packed just in case I'm going to sleep somewhere.
Yeah.
I always carried it with me, so I have learned to have that stuff always
Do
packed.
you
And
agree?
like you said,
Do you agree with the notion? So I have any piece of luggage that I use with any frequency already has a preset bunch of toiletries in it, travel size toiletries, ready to go.
yeah, I'll just go in and I'll see what ones need to be replenished.
Right. The ones that have dried up.
Nice.
Yeah, like the toothpaste sometimes completely dries out.
All right, Kelly. Thank you so much. Appreciate you checking in.
Kelly, make sure you watch the video. You can see our Yoo-Hoo sled, the Camelot Productions, the Cardboard Classic. I think it also comes from going to the shore a lot. That you just kind of like leave the same suitcase pack. Like I get home Sunday or Monday and I open up the suitcase, and if I'm leaving on Friday, like I'm not going to unpack it. I'm just going to do the laundry, put it back in the suitcase and go back.
Absolutely. When I was doing stand-up comedy and traveling all the time, you just never unpacked. You cycled through a little bit, but you just had your stuff ready to go. You were literally living out of a bag.
I can't have the same stuff for the next weekend.
Yeah.
Like I have so many clothes in my closet. I want to wear them.
Right.
So I'm not going to have the same clothes.
Repeating would be wouldn't make any sense to
No.
you. Okay.
I also love when somewhere I'm traveling to has a washer and dryer. Not necessarily a hotel, but if you like do an Airbnb or you stay at a house and I go home and all my clothes are clean when I get there.
Put them away.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
That's the best.
You know you're one of those recycler when you end up wearing a T-shirt that says Nanu Nanu. It's like, how long has that been in the cycle?
I just need one place, Kathy, while on vacation that has it, and because like midway through the vacation or whatever, and we stayed in an Airbnb last summer or Verbo, and they had a washer and dryer, and so it really reduces the amount of clothes that you have to pack because you can just wash your clothes halfway through.
Kathy, I think mine isn't so much recycling as it's like depleting. Like I pack one outfit that I really want to wear down the shore, and if I don't wear it one weekend, it just stays in there and it just stays over and over throughout the summer.
It's on deck, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. We got Becky who wants to jump in with a comment, so we'll go to her. Becky, good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. Sorry to bother you at work.
That's all right. So you have somebody who has remained packed for a long time.
Yes. My daughter, Emily, went on a cruise with a boyfriend when she was 21 years old. Packed all her dirty laundry in her suitcase, brought it home, put it in the basement by the washing machine. That suitcase is still sitting there.
How long?
Emily is now 29 years old.
It's been there for 8 years?
Yeah.
Okay. How? Okay. So does she live at home anymore?
No. She is married with a kid.
Wow. And what? Why has this suitcase remained untouched?
I honestly, I think of pure laziness.
Pure laziness for 8 years. At this point, either put it into a time capsule or wait for it to become self-aware.
Yeah.
Because both are about to happen. I mean, I would just want to see after 8 years what was in it.
And the condition at this point.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Lost was still on.
I have not opened it. It's sitting in the basement. I'm now divorced from her father, so it's still sitting in her basement.
Okay.
What if she's...
Here's Becky, here's what you're going to do, okay? In late November, I want you to put it in a box, and I want you to wrap it with some nice Christmas paper and put a nice big bow on it. And then you give it to her.
Wonderful idea.
Yeah. And then you film it. By then it'll be the anniversary, whatever.
She's probably forgotten about it.
She's going to turn 30 in November, so
Perfect.
it'll be there 9 years.
You know what she'll do? She'll look at you and go, how did you know this is exactly the kind of luggage I like? All these clothes is exactly what I would have picked. You're amazing, Mom.
I can remember her coming home from the cruise and be like, where's my bra? Like, I have that. And I'm like, I have no idea.
Oh, my God.
I bet you it's still in that damn suitcase.
All right,
That's hilarious. All right.
Your Christmas gift.
Thank you, Becky. Yeah, hand that right back to her. Oh, my God, that's great. Wow. All right, well, we are, we're headed to the airport on Wednesday, right after the show, and then we fly out. Land in Clearwater. We get the evening to just kind of chill, and then the next morning get up and we do the show from the ballpark. And we've got, as we get a little bit closer, we'll reveal who we're planning on having on the program, which is really cool. Then afterwards, go to the game, hang out that night. Some stuff going on. Friday, a live broadcast at Coco's Crush Bar in Clearwater.
So many people from the area down there. It is an amazing, amazing thing.
All right, maybe this is a superstition thing because the Eagles won the Super Bowl because that suitcase was packed and I went on a Philly sports trip. Now we're going on another Philly sports trip with the same clothes, the same suitcase.
Are you willing to commit?
Will I leave it packed until October when the Phillies are in the World Series?
That's
Hell
easy.
yeah, no problem.
That's easy. You got to do that. All right. So yeah, we're there with Philly Sports Trips, obviously. So, all right, we are looking forward to that. But Marissa, we're very proud of you, sort of.
Yeah.
For getting packed this early for that. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We will be checking in with Casey live from Verona, Italy this morning in the 8 o'clock hour. So we'll come back and, dude, I have a bizarre file story today that is going to blow you guys away. We'll have it next, so stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
Preston and Steve on
It's our porcelain Tri-Wizards Cup here this morning. Gorgeous. It's actually a bi-Wizards Cup because we only have two Wizards in the studio this morning. But that is from our friend Eva, who created this. She is the ceramic studio manager at the Wayne Art Center.
She's so talented. She's so incredible. She recently had an art opening out in Westchester at Westchester University. Eva's a great artist and a really cool person. She actually submitted to be in this contest because she loves Harry Potter so much. But when she wasn't selected, she made this trophy for us instead.
That was very cool. And you can check out our Instagram account. We'll make sure we post that. It's at arts.by.eva. If you want to take a look. So thank you, Eva Hozinez. Is that how you say her last name? Hozinez.
Yeah,
All
she's
right,
awesome.
So thank you, Eva. All right, we are ready to get the battle underway.
Oh, boy.
Let's begin. All right. Let's get Steph and Lauren in place. Hands by your buzzers, by your bells, I should say.
Are we doing practice questions first, or are we just getting right to it?
All right, I'll do a practice question just so you know what it's like to buzz in. And by the way, the questions are difficult. I'm currently reading, and I've seen all the movies. I didn't get any one of these correct. All right. So, but that's, hey, I'm a neophyte compared to you guys. So let's try a very, very simple question and buzz in if you know the answer. What street do the Dursleys live on? Okay. So then we would go to Lauren for that answer.
Privet Drive.
That is absolutely correct. So that's just a test. And that is how it's going to work. So we can clearly hear the bells.
Yes.
We know who's in.
All right.
And we can decide who gets to answer the question. All right.
Wait,
here we
sorry.
go.
Did you say where their hands need to go?
They can hover.
Okay.
Hands can hover.
We covered that off air. So, all right, first question, stand by. Here we go. And these are the easy questions for 1 point. In Prisoner of Azkaban, Snape commands his students to turn to... All right.
394.
That is correct, Lauren. To which page? 394. 1 point for Lauren.
I'm keeping score, right?
That was excellent. Yes. All right. Next question. After Dumbledore's passing, he gives Harry the very first snitch that he ever caught. All right, we're going to go to Steph for that answer.
I open at the close.
She is correct. The rest of the question was, what was the sentence that appeared on the golden sphere?
Wow.
I open at the close.
These guys are good.
1 point each. Next question. What are the full names of the 4 Hogwarts house? All right, we're going to go to Lauren. Lauren.
Salazar Slytherin. Godric Gryffindor. Rowena Ravenclaw. And Helga Hufflepuff.
That is correct. Those are the full names of the 4 Hogwarts house founders. So far, all my questions asked have been buzzed in early on.
Yes, they have.
They're extremely confident. Now, these are the easiest of the questions. Final question in the first round. Harry Potter's birthday is July 31st. Which character was born one day? Let's go to Lauren.
Neville Longbottom.
That is correct. Born one day before him.
Oh my God.
And the total so far in round 1, Nick.
Lauren with 3, Steph with 1.
All right, 3-1.
3-1.
And these two are jumping in before before I had a chance to finish every single
good.
question.
I mean, we have absolutely the best competitors you could possibly have.
Most definitely. All right, on to round 2. Right now, Lauren leads 3-1. Here's your next question. These are medium, and these are 2 points each. 2 points each. What is the name of Lavender Brown's rabbit?
Oh my God, that's literally the one pet I did not make a flashcard about.
Flashcard.
Steph was doing
I know
flashcards.
everyone else is.
You did flashcards?
Lavender Brown.
What is the name of Lavender Brown's rabbit? I'll give you guys about 5 more seconds to think about it.
Like flashcards for this contest?
Yes.
Yes! That's what a competitor looks like, Kathy.
High level flashcard.
I played Trivial Pursuit last night.
There you go.
Running through the cards.
Yes! These guys are serious.
All right, Kathy interrupted. So your 5 seconds starts now. Hold on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, they're not going to take a chance at it. It was Binky. Didn't know that? Doesn't even ring a bell, does it? Okay. Fair enough. Well, it's a good thing you didn't answer them.
Wow.
Next question.
Is there a deduction?
No.
No, if you get it wrong, you're not penalized.
Yes.
You're not penalized, but you do kind of give up a little bit of information to the other competitor. All right, next is, what is Hermione's boggart? Okay, let's go to Steph.
It's Professor McGonagall telling her that she failed her exams.
She got it! Nice! So that's 2 points.
Yes.
And that means it's
all tied up.
It's 3-3.
Yeah.
All right, third question from the medium round, round 2. What animals represent each of the houses? All right, we're going to go to Lauren.
For Slytherin, it's a snake. Ravenclaw, it's an eagle. Hufflepuff is a badger. And Gryffindor is a lion.
That's correct. 2 points for Lauren.
I want to hang with these guys.
I'm telling you, man, they're so much fun. All right, and then the last question for the medium round, round 2, is how many staircases are... Okay, let's go to Lauren.
142.
That's correct. Staircases are at Hogwarts. Wow. All right, Nick. Totals.
After round 2, Lauren's still in the lead with 7, but Steph not far behind with 3.
All right, and it doesn't matter because going into this round, the points really jump up. And each question is worth 5 points each.
Wow.
As we
really
go for the quest of the Tri-Wizards Cup. And Steph, look, everybody, these guys are bouncing up and down. They're all excited.
I'm worried if that lavender one. I'm like, I know. Do I know anything?
All right, Casey, here we go. Final round. The most difficult questions that we could come up with yet. And this is really going to find out what you know about the Harry Potter universe. Let's go with this one. In response to the treatment of house elves, Hermione... Oh, all right. We had Steph ring in first.
It's called SPEW, the Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare.
That is
points! Wow! Those index cards paying off!
To finish it, Hermione founded an organization called SEW. What does SPEW stand for? And she's correct. The Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare. Well done. What's the point total, Nick?
Wow, with that correct answer, Steph has moved into the lead. It's now 8-7.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
1 point lead. All right, 2 more questions to go. Here we go. Get your hands by your button, or by your bell, I should say. What is Nearly Headless Nick's real name? Okay, we're going to go to Lauren. Lauren.
Nicholas Demimsey Pompsey? Something like that. I don't think I got it.
That's incorrect.
Yeah.
No. Okay. All right. So that means that, Steph, you can take a free guess no matter what. Even if you get it wrong, it's no big deal.
I know it starts with Sir Nicholas the rest of it.
All right. You guys aren't going to get that right. Sir Nicholas Demimsey Porpington.
You guys were all around
It's that
it.
name that you're like, Sir Nicholas, moving on. You don't read the full name.
It's so
British.
so many syllables, and
Yeah.
it's exactly.
That's a classic Harry Potter name, though.
This is the last question that we have here.
And it's anybody's game.
It's anybody's game right now. So this is in the past contests we've had runaways.
Yeah.
This time around it's down to this last one. Here we go. Final question. On his 11th birthday, Dudley Dursley's parents take him and Harry to the zoo and also bring along Dudley's best friend. What is that friend's name?
They're looking at each other.
Lauren almost cursed right into the microphone.
It's a super minor character from the first book. I know that.
Repeat the question, Preston.
On his 11th birthday, Dudley Dursley's parents take him and Harry to the zoo and also bring along Dudley's best friend. What is that friend's name? They have this intense look. Steph looks like she has no idea. Lauren is kind of picking around in her brain.
Whoever he is, he's not a nice little boy.
Right. 5 seconds left.
I'm just
Okay,
gonna put a
might as
guess
well.
in.
Go ahead.
Albert.
Incorrect. I'm sorry. Nick, what does that mean?
That means with 8 points, Steph is our winner.
Oh, my God! Steph is the champion.
They are so evenly matched.
Oh, my
Wait, what was it?
Yeah, who was it?
Piers Polkis.
Loser.
Please.
I mean, I don't. That was neck and neck.
All right, just for fun, we had more questions, and we're never going to use these for anything. And while we have Steph as the winner of the Tri-Wizards Cup here this morning, and the self-proclaimed expert Harry Potter universe, just for fun, let me try out a couple of other questions for you guys. Who is the freed female house elf who neither wanted? All right, let's go to Lauren.
Winky.
Winky is correct. How about this one? Okay, let's see what you know about the making of the films. Christopher Columbus directed the first 2 movies. David Yates directed the last 4. Who directed 3 and 4? All right.
Alfonso Yates? I know it's Alfonso.
All right.
I know it's Alfonso.
There were 2 people. Prisoner of Azkaban and Goblet of Fire, respectively, was Alfonso Cuarón and Mike Newell.
Okay.
All right, and then one last one. Let's see. What'll be a good question? Oh, yeah, this one. Okay. What are Snape's very first words to Harry, and what is it believed they allude to? That's a hard one.
Snape's very first words to Harry.
You'll never get it because it's really intricate. So the first words were, What would I get if I added powdered root of asphodel to an infusion of wormwood? And apparently, an asphodel is a member of the lily family, and wormwood can be defined as a state or source of bitterness or grief. Snape is alluding to the death of Lily Potter, Harry's mother.
Wow.
So that's supposedly some of the lore, but that was like
Oh my God.
insanely hard.
That makes me want to cry, knowing that fact. I didn't know that.
That's in the first book, and then you know what you know about Snape much later on. But it's that's how layered and how intricate and how complicated the books are, and why it's so much fun to go back and rewatch the movies and reread the books.
It's poetic.
Every time I reread, I find something that I'm like, well, how did I not see that before? Like it's a connection.
Well, you guys, I mean, you just put on a Harry Potter clinic. I mean, that's some amazing stuff, and you were neck and neck for the whole thing. It's just amazing.
Steph, I am now proud to bestow upon you the honor of the Preston and Steve Tri-Wizards Cup for your triumphant victory in Battle of the So-Called Experts.
Oh my God, it's beautiful.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Be careful when you hold it by the snake handles. They are a little bit sensitive, and we
When
don't
she
want that to
first
fall.
grabbed it out there, she was like, it's not a port key, is it?
Yeah, I'm like, this will not lead to my death, will it?
No, you're safe.
You guys are awesome. Congratulations. Thanks for being here. We hope you had fun. All right, and there it is again, folks. We've done it. We'll have to come up with some of the... If you have any suggestions of some good topics for Battle of the Self-Proclaimed Experts, let us know. We'll certainly take those into consideration. There's loads of things that we can go to in the worlds of entertainment and sports and history and whatever it may be.
And some of these things are so voluminous, you could, at some point, you may have to, Steph, defend your classification as the champion of all champions.
Yeah, you never know.
It's so big. There's so much to hit upon.
Yeah.
I did mean to mention this earlier, but we're going to also award Steph and Lauren passes to the Harry Potter exhibition that's coming to the Franklin Institute next year.
WMMR.
All right, I'm going to share some bizarre file stories with you right now.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Monster Mania 62, coming March 14th to the 16th at the Doubletree by Hilton in Cherry Hill. And you can meet Chris Jericho, Eli Roth, Danielle Harris, and more. Tickets are on sale now at monstermania.net. All right, this is a wild video. I saw this morning. A Virginia high school track and field star's attempt to get into first place during a race last Tuesday led an opponent to hit her with a baton, causing head injuries.
This is horrifying.
According to the Brookville High School junior, Kaylin Tucker, she's still waiting on the opponent from IC Norcom High School to apologize. Tucker had just set a new Virginia High School League Class 3 state indoor championship record in the 55-meter race on Monday, and she was hoping to help her school win the 4x200-meter relay on Tuesday as well. However, the heat of competition got carried too far by one opponent. As clear video evidence of the race shows, Tucker getting struck in the head by a baton-wielding runner from Norcom who also threw it at Tucker after being passed. Tucker immediately ran off the track and fell down, and she was holding her head afterwards. She said, on the back curve, I kind of got cut off. I tried to pass her the first time, so I let her go ahead. And I knew when I got fully on the curve that I was just going to have to push past her. And so we were coming up in the middle of the curve, and we were bumping arms a lot. So I got a little more on the outside of the curve to go around her. When I finally pushed through to get in front of her, that's when she hit me in the head with the baton. And bumping during races is very normal on the track. But now how Tucker's opponent reacted at that moment during the second leg of the race, they're questioning. So the whole section just gasped, her mom said, about those around her in the bleachers. Said, when I saw her go down, all I could do was run out of the bleachers. I knew I had to get to her. Race judges immediately disqualified the Norcom team for contact interference. As of Friday, they still haven't heard from the runner or their coaches.
Yeah, you think somebody would reach out a little bit? Listen, this is illegal in this particular sport. Doesn't mean I would not pay to see a sport where you were allowed.
Yeah, so she still had concussion symptoms. She's got headaches, and there was also swelling around the area that she was struck, and a possible skull fracture. So some serious stuff. So she's going to have to stay off the track until she recovers, and there's an investigation going on, but nobody has really said anything yet, which is ridiculous.
Bizarre.
Wow. When biologist Stephanie Stack first saw photographs of two humpback whales mating in the warm waters off Hawaii, she said her mind was completely blown. She said, when I realized that it was two males, it was not what I was expecting. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is incredible. So this is the first time humpback whale sex has been documented ever. So she co-authored a paper about the rare sighting in the journal Marine Mammal Science. The findings are just the latest in a growing body of evidence that same-sex sexual interactions are widespread in the animal kingdom.
I guess I've had these feelings since I was 5.
But one researcher cautioned against making broad assumptions about humpbacks based on a single documented instance, especially because one of the whales appeared to be in poor health. The photos were taken in January 2022, just west of Maui. The two humpbacks approached a boat and then began mating a few meters beneath the vessel.
So was this a medicinal hump?
I don't know. Lyle Cranitchfield and Brandy Romano, both professional photographers, happened to be there to capture the moment. But sure enough, the photo they sent showed two humpbacks mid-coitus, one clearly penetrating the other.
Wow.
Now, Vincent
Good stuff.
Savalinen, a biologist at Imperial College of London, said last year he had authored a study that showed more than 1,500 species of animals have displayed some degree of same-sex sexual behavior, including fish, frogs, birds, and primates. And they said, I hope that this research will help destigmatize homosexuality and bisexuality and acknowledge sexual diversity in nature and society. But these were two male whales that were getting it on, and they had never had humpback whale sex ever videoed.
Hump is in the name.
It's in the
if
name.
There's going to be a first step taken, it's going to be by the humpback whale.
All right, so I couldn't wait to share this one with you guys. Here we go. So doctors were shocked to discover maggots crawling inside a man's penis and bladder.
I want to die.
The 76-year-old patient went to the hospital in Nepal complaining of a bloody discharge oozing from his penis.
Come on.
2 years earlier, he had been diagnosed with an enlarged prostate, which is a common condition.
Dad, can I talk to you for a minute?
When the prostate becomes enlarged,
I have maggots in my penis.
It can press against the bladder and urethra, making it difficult to pee. Now, doctors said the blockage was severe enough that he needed a catheter inserted to help him pass urine normally.
I had maggots in my penis. I was told to talk to my doctor.
When the medics examined him, they found live maggots burrowing into an open wound near his urethra.
No.
Now,
is
doctors,
that, oh my God, that's so hot, or oh my God, that's disgusting?
Doctors don't specify how the maggots reached his penis. However, they noted that flies are attracted to foul-smelling discharges from body openings.
Oh, man.
Where they lay their eggs. These eggs then hatch into maggots. And so, even more disturbing, some baby maggots called larvae were spotted wriggling through his urethra, raising fears that they had made their way to his bladder. So,
baby maggots are adorable.
A cystoscopy, where a doctor uses a camera to examine the urinary tract, confirmed there were suspicions that tiny parasites had invaded his bladder.
I think at that point I'd opt for a chop my dong offectomy.
The condition known as urogenital myiasis happened when flies lay eggs in open cuts or moist areas, and it's commonly happening to patients with poor hygiene or mobility issues. The man who had suffered a stroke and was dependent on his wife to keep him clean was an easy target. Doctors immediately set to work using turpentine oil to force the maggots to the surface before manually removing them.
You couldn't wait to share this with us, huh?
I could not wait.
I'm like sick right now.
His bladder was flushed with saline solution, and he was given a dose of ivermectin, which is a drug used to kill parasites.
There we go.
After an 11-day hospital stay, the patient was discharged with a clean bill of health. A follow-up cystoscopy confirmed no remaining larvae, and he later underwent circumcision to reduce the risk of further infection.
So I wonder if he was experiencing any pain while the baby larvae were burrowing into his bladder.
Don't know. Didn't say in the story. I can't imagine that it did.
This was fun.
All right, and there you go. That's what I have.
That feels really good.
In the bizarre file for you. I hope you guys loved that.
Kathy loves it. You want make it a personal note to listen to it back on the podcast.
I always have you in mind when I put these stories together. All right.
Steve, did you know there's a bizarre File podcast that you can
There
download
is.
every single day.
Right.
Just the Bizarre Files.
All right, we are going to take a break. When we come back, we are scheduled to chat with Casey Boy, who is in Italy this
That's right.
morning. He's there for a few days, and he will be joining us. He'll be going straight from there to Clearwater. So we'll come back in a second. We'll see if we can hook up with him. Stay put.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
They haven't announced the official dates for that yet, but it'll be at some point in 2022. It's the world premiere. It's going to happen right here in Philadelphia at the Franklin Institute. The Harry Potter, the exhibition, coming to Philly in early 2022.
Excellent. And thank you to Eva Josines for the Tri-Wizard Cup that we had. She fired it in her own kiln, made it from scratch. It's beautiful. And now Steph is the proud owner of that. So nice. Excellent. Great work, everybody. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in just a moment. Make sure you stay with us. We will return shortly.
Preston and Steve
on 93.3 WMMR.
A youngster inadvertently earned his parents a citation when he told a Michigan DNR officer that there were no life jackets.
I'm from Michigan, and we have not enough life jackets.
One last story. Netflix reports that the company's 183 million subscribers are watching more international fare during the coronavirus lockdown. CEO Reed Hastings said that La Casa de Papel, which is also known as the Monkey Heist, has managed to garner 65 million eyeballs.
Would you want to watch the Monkey Heist?
And that Germany's...
Look at that monkey took a banana.
Isn't it the Money Heist?
Money Heist.
Where did you get the monkey? Perhaps the monkey is stealing the money.
I told you to take the money, not the monkey! What am I going to do with all these monkeys?
The monkey has eaten the money. I told you not to put the bananas in the same bag with the money. Shut up.
Oh, my God, Preston, I'm sorry.
I'm such an idiot.
Falcon has flown. We've got the monkeys. Come again? We've got the monkeys. Right here on this paper, it says Monkey Heist.
La Casa de Papel means money heist. Money.
I would like to watch the Monkey Heist.
Oh, well, who wouldn't?
Oh, God.
And also Germany's Unorthodox, I think I got that one right.
Yeah.
And Italy's Summertime are doing well on Netflix. So,
God damn it, what are we going to do with all these monkeys?
internationals.
I don't know how we ended up down this path, but that kid does that in that scene in the gym, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
All right, so onions, unions, poop on the floor.
If we do the backtrack, we'll find out where we went.
Shouldn't we do that to jump rope, Casey? Onions, union, poop on the floor. Onions, union, poop on the floor.
Right, Kat?
I'm not taking part.
No,
Come on, Kathy. Come on, jump in, Kathy.
Come on, Kathy.
Onions, union, poop on the floor.
Onions, unions, poop on the floor. No?
No, I'm mad at you. I can't believe you're part of
What?
this.
No, that's a good chant. Vito Spatafor.
My mama said that you want more.
Onions, unions, poop on the floor.
We're double dutching now.
Come on, man.
Can you double dutch, Kat?
I can't. I've
Me
always
neither.
wanted to learn. And
Okay.
I can't.
Could
Were
we
you
try
too
that in the
afraid?
studio? Because I can't do it.
Were you too afraid to jump in the middle?
I couldn't time it out.
I can't time it. I can jump rope. I'm an amazing
done
jump
it.
roper.
Can you do it?
You can
Maybe.
double the Dutch.
Yes, I can double dutch.
What the hell is happening?
I don't know.
You don't remember that song?
No.
double the Dutch.
No.
Double dutch.
Oh my gosh.
The double dutch bus. You guys don't remember that?
I do remember it,
Of
yeah.
course.
You don't remember that?
No.
That's the story that you remember that on the air the other day, and I was about to crack the mic, and I come on out of the song, and I go, Casey, don't ever say something to that like that to me right before I turn the microphone
That was
on.
it?
Imagine
That was what he was telling me.
You travel that way, but it's good to know. It's good to,
Yes.
you come prepared.
It's
You don't go
outstanding.
camping without a shovel.
That's hilarious. Good for him. All right.
I know somebody who has to get those sheets too.
Really?
Yeah.
Rubber sheets?
Yeah. It's like a sex mat.
Wow. You? Okay.
I know. Why? Why? It's just that
Why would your mom share something like that?
Not cool.
Not
Listen, we
cool,
bring up her
dude.
dad all the time. It's fair game.
No, yeah, and she has to buy a sex mat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Some of those videos might be real. The woman was reportedly uninjured and escaped without a scratch. No further information about the couple charged by the bison was immediately available, but it's funny because she hits and boom, she stays still.
Wow.
And they leave her alone.
There have been a number of stories recently about people getting far too close to these bison.
Yeah, they get gored.
They're getting gored.
He charges her, and then as soon as she falls and plays dead, he just kind of sniffs her and like runs away.
Yep.
Oh my God. Jesus. Oh, Christ. Yeah, I got a word for you. It's called douche.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I mean, there's some nasty smelling stuff out on the plains there, but
Yeah.
come on.
I live in the wild and nothing I've ever smelled smells like your crotch.
Jimmy rides a motorcycle, and he's got something to say about as far as getting used to driving. Hey, Jimmy, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. What's up?
Hey, yo, bud. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say what threw me off real quick is I've been driving bikes for 25.
He just crashed.
Just crashed
Oh my
his
God.
motorcycle. Jimmy? He might have.
We lost him. Jimmy, we appreciated you listening.
His final words were, I've been driving.
Never had an accident, not even one time.
Hey, I didn't know Exxon had fuel trucks in it. I'm sorry, I just got to turn into the mobile station.
Terrible.
God, I hope he's actually okay.
Our next guest wrestles with the WWE, and he is from the area, and we were surprised to find out that he grew up listening to our show. We're stoked to welcome Mr. Drew Gulak to the program this morning.
Hi, guys.
How you doing, Drew?
I'm wonderful. This is really surreal. I did grow up listening to the show. I listened back when it was Preston, Maryland. And
All the way back. Y100, yeah.
Yeah.
I joined, it was Preston and Maryland, then Preston, Maryland, and
that's right.
Steve. Then
For just like a few weeks, and then then Preston, Maryland, Steve, and then Maryland went on her own. She'd bailed from the show, which we're still buddies with her to this day, and then it became the Preston and Steve show.
Well, there's a step in between where it was the McNeil Lair report, right between that and when Maryland left, and then we became our show.
Yeah.
We don't know why we did that. It was very stupid.
So it's pretty wild. The way we found out about you is you had commented on a post I had on Instagram, and I saw the little blue check by your name, and I'm like, what's this all about? And then we find out a little bit more that you grew up in the area. I was just so blown away to see you comment on my edible cheese board that I made.
It was a beautiful edible cheese board, and I saw there might be another one.
I made one last night, and I brought it in.
I'm so sorry.
We're going to sample
I'm
it.
so sorry you made
No,
one
I need
for
it.
me.
I'm working on it.
You picked a good one to dive in on, though, because we had the conversation, and we do the thing called the connoisseur, and Preston brought up this thing, and everybody's going, man, that sounds awesome. And then he posted the picture, like almost that night he took a crack at it, and everyone's going, man, that's awesome. So you dove in at the right point. If you're ever going to make a comment, the baked charcuterie board was the time to do it.
That's the ticket in.
That was it.
And this is only the second one I've made, so I do need to work on it a bit, so I don't feel bad at all that I had to make another one.
No,
So
I'm already impressed.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Beautiful.
So where did you grow up in the area?
So to the age of 10, I lived in Montgomeryville.
Okay.
And then I moved to Fox Chase in Northeast Philly. And then was there through high school, went to Drexel for 2 years.
Was it Northeast High that you went to?
Yeah, Northeast High School.
Right.
Most
where were you
popular high school in the city.
Where were you studying at
That's
Drexel?
164. At Drexel, I actually went to be an architectural engineer.
Okay, yeah, that's the school to go to.
That lasted 1 quarter because I did quarters there.
Yeah, dude.
Was it just too hard? Or
It's hard.
It wasn't so much that it was hard. I just wasn't interested in like all the math.
Okay.
Do you know what the great part of architecture is? Building the little tiny replicas of what you're going to build. To me,
That was it.
That was always so
I'd
cool.
still be doing it.
Yeah.
Drew, when my very brief college moment, I took astronomy. I'm like, I've always loved the stars.
Yeah.
This would be really cool. It'd be really interesting. My God, was it hard?
It's physics.
It was all physics and math, and I'm like, this is not what I signed up for, man.
Yeah, that's
so
what
I
it was
had to bail
like.
on that. No
That's exactly
kidding.
what it was like, I switched into film for a little bit, and just decided I wanted to focus on wrestling, which is I've been doing that since high school.
So we football or anything in school?
Wrestling team.
Just a wrestling team.
Just the wrestling team.
So you do have a classical wrestling.
Yeah, an amateur wrestling.
Yeah.
How did you do in high school? How were you?
I did okay.
Okay.
So city kids have it tougher. Like if you grew up in the suburbs, you're probably doing wrestling from a very young age, and you're doing it a lot.
Yep.
And for me, it was like I met my biology teacher. He happened to be the wrestling coach, and he was like, "Hey, come try out for the team." And like I made the team, and the practices were grueling and stuff. And I did pretty well. I think I made varsity senior year. It was captain senior year. Varsity maybe sophomore year, junior year. Yeah. So I did okay, but it wasn't like my one focus too.
Right.
Like while I was doing that second year of amateur wrestling, I started training professional wrestling, which was, I don't know, thinking back, I love talking about it because I would go from high school and then I would go to high school wrestling practice, and then I would get in a car, drive 45 minutes to Deptford at the time, and do professional wrestling practice till like 10:30 at night.
Wow.
Then I get home and I got to wake up the next morning. I remember
that's commitment.
Man, yeah, it was grueling then, but like I loved pro wrestling so much, and like, nothing was going to stop me.
So going from the amateur to pro, obviously, you got to work on the moves. You got to know what you're doing. You have to be proficient in the ring. But you also have to, is a part of that, being physically large. I mean, making sure that the muscles are big and impressive, because that's part of it. Looking at those guys, looking at you guys, you have to go, wow, man.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other thing outside of just the technique of wrestling. It's also, you got to look really good too.
It's true. It's true. And like when I started, I didn't even think about physique. I didn't think about strength training. I had a wonderful strength training teacher in high school, so thankfully I had that. I had the amateur background, so I was in shape. I wasn't huge.
Right.
I was maybe 180 pounds when I started.
We've talked about this, even in general, and wrestling goes through, the WWE, and you had been with Combat Zone as well. But right now we're in I think you have the best athletes who are doing it, but they're not necessarily Andre the Giant size.
Yes,
it's not that. So what you'll get is you're getting like uber stuntman level stuff going on from guys who are really, I think, more athletic than they've been in a
Mansion Boulevard? Is that where the Mansion people live?
Mansion people live.
Yeah.
Every time she says Cuthbert, I can't help but think of Bill Weston.
Yes.
Your father's name is Cullen. For some reason, he got it in his mind that his name was Cuthbert.
Cuthbert. It would always be. How's Cuthbert doing? I'm like, I don't know, because I don't know anyone named Cuthbert, but nonetheless. All right. So I believe, are we set up? Can we do this? We're gonna try to we're gonna go across the Atlantic, folks.
Yes.
And we're gonna check in with a young man who has taken his first trip to Italy. Casey Boy is not here in the studio. No. He is actually in Verona, Italy as we speak. So let's see if we get him. Case, can you hear me?
Completely froze.
All right, Case, so stop moving around. I saw him walking around, and sometimes when you're walking around with video, it can kind of cause the bit rate to...
Yeah, he appears to be in a stairwell, too. Maybe get out of that.
Yeah, I don't know, but he's got his he's inside and has his sunglasses on, so I don't know what's going on
What
there.
a douchebag.
Well, he's afraid he's going to get recognized.
All right, Case, can you hear me?
Hi.
Hey! We got you. We lost you there for a moment. You were completely frozen.
Ciao, Bella!
Ciao. All right, so what's up, dude?
All right, so I'm starting to get sick, so that's great.
Are you kidding?
No. I was supposed to be doing this from the Dolomites skiing, but 3 days ago, my knee decided to just hurt for no reason. So I'm not skiing. Everybody else is on a wine tour. I'm in Verona, Italy now.
Okay.
Trying to get you a good little shot of the mountains behind me. But like now I'm just kind of like walking. I'm going to go get myself an espresso, walking the streets of Verona, Italy right now. But we're here with my son's.
Oh, we lost your audio. I see your lips moving, but I'm hearing nothing, Case. Can you hear me? No, he can't hear me either because he's continuing. He's giving us a full...
Yeah.
And,
wait.
So we played this
There we go.
really great rugby match yesterday against their local club.
We can hear you now.
There?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
you know, maybe if you stop moving a
stay
little
in
bit.
one place if you could, please. Stop walking. I need you to stop walking and listen to me.
Stop walking and listen.
There we go. That's better. You're in front of you're in front of a Vespa dealer, it looks like.
I know. That's where I wanted to be.
All right. So anyhow, there was a rugby match yesterday. St. Joe's Prep is where your son goes to school, and that's why you guys are there, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, we played against it, and it was like 2 hours from where we're at right now, a place called Imola, Italy. And all right, so think about like when you go to like your kid's soccer match, your kid's hockey game, right? You got your concession stand. What do they sell? French fries, hot dogs,
snacks,
soda or whatever. Okay, you go. They have, and I kid you not, spaghetti, wine, polenta. Like it was just so wild. Like they literally there was a tent where you could just go get glasses of wine or get beer or whatever. You know what I like about Europe, Preston? It's the little things.
Yes, I know what you're saying, Vincent. Yep.
I noticed that when I was in Greece, I got like a Greek salad, which I don't know if they call it that over there, but
they just call it salad.
They call it salad.
They probably just call it salad. Yeah.
The tomatoes at like the port authority before I got on a boat were better than any tomato I've ever had in America, and that was just at the equivalent of Aramark.
So when in Greece, visit the Port Authority.
Exactly, Steve.
Yeah, that's what they say.
The food everywhere is just so good.
What did you have, Case?
So listen, I was gonna get the spaghetti. I was gonna get the spaghetti with the meat sauce, but then I saw one of the coaches who was eating the polenta, and I was like, I gotta go for that, So I ended up getting the polenta ragu. So it had a little meat on it and a little cheese on it. Like the mozzarella here is like better than any mozzarella I've ever had.
Well, of course. All right, so let's back up a little bit. You got in on Friday, right?
Yeah, so I left Philadelphia, or technically Newark, Jersey on Friday at 5:40. This is a funny thing. Landed in out of Newark, just a direct flight to Milan, and then I had to get from Milan to Verona. And there's a transit strike. So I was worried about how the train, but if I would have taken an Uber or something like that, it would have cost like $400.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to take my chances with the train stuff. Right. And this is exactly what happened to me in France when I landed in Paris at one time. I get to the train station and I was like, oh, everything's in Italian. I'm like, I can't, I don't know where I'm going. So guys, I just like hopped on a train, hoping that it was headed in the right direction.
Really?
Yes, I did. I mean, it took me a little, right? It took me probably about like 20 minutes of like looking at transit maps and like, but I couldn't see where I was headed. Like, so I just hopped on the train. I'm like, I think I'm headed in the right direction. I think I know where I'm going.
All right.
Was there
on this train? Go ahead, sorry.
No, I'm just going to... We had talked before you left, and you were wondering what the frequency of people speaking English would be there. And I said, everyone I know who travels a lot says it's fairly common now to encounter English. Did you find that, or was it difficult?
No. I mean, everybody looks American. I thought everybody'd be wearing like an Italian, flag shirt or something like that. No, so I did find a guy who spoke a little bit of English, was kind of pointing me in the right direction. So I hop on a train that was headed for Milano Centrale. And so I get in there and I'm looking at my maps, and I'm following my little blue dot, just praying that it's going towards Verona. And, as it turns out, I got on the right train, guys.
Wow.
Nice. On the right train. Yes, I did. But then I had to get off at that Milano Centrale and hop on another train to Verona. And actually, that exchange wasn't as scary as the first one was. But like, I ended up getting here at like noon on Saturday, and I just had to like tough it out and. I went all the way till about midnight that night, and then I got up yesterday.
To counter the jet lag thing. So, Casey, question on that train. At what point did you realize? How far into did you realize you were headed into the right direction?
It took a long time, Preston. It took about 20 to half an hour.
Yeah.
But just like even if I was on the wrong train, I didn't care because I'm like, it's all part of the adventure. You know what I mean? Like something like that just only makes the story better.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
so it's kind of the way I looked at it. And also like I was the only person, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't with anybody that I had to like piss off or disappoint or something like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, if I was only doing that all by myself, it really wasn't that big of a deal.
That's a great attitude. I mean, travel in and of itself is an adventure. Casey, I don't really know much about Verona except that it's where Romeo and Juliet took place. What have you experienced so far in that city?
All right, so that area, the Casa de Giulietta, is about 20 minutes from where I'm at right now. And so we went into that town on Saturday. So like when I got here, first thing I did, went to the little cafe around the corner over here, got myself a double espresso. Then I hopped in a taxi and went over there. There's also, Nick, a Coliseum that is older than the Rome Coliseum. Apparently, this is like where it was basically like the minor leagues.
Right.
You know, the gladiator stuff. So, you know, people would cut their teeth here. And then the Juliet thing it's all in that town center. And I'm headed in that direction right now. I'm kind of all by myself right now because I didn't do skiing and I'm not doing the wine tour, so kind of on my own. So I didn't see the Juliet thing. I'm actually going to go do that in a little bit.
So your knee hurts and you're feeling under the weather. What do you have? You have like sneezing, congestion. What's going on?
I got a sore throat.
All right.
Sore throat right here.
All right, so you got to take care. Now, what you're wearing a hoodie, kind of a thicker hoodie. What is the weather like there? It looks beautifully sunny.
You know what? It is beautifully sunny. We're looking at, it's 57 degrees right now.
All right.
I want to see how much these vests cost and see if it's like maybe cost effective for me to buy one here.
Yes.
And then ride it home.
Skip it over to Pennsylvania.
Right into Greenland.
I mean,
what are the prices in general like?
Dude, crazy. It's like listen, I don't know, like the euro, the euro is
it's pretty close to the dollar. It's fairly close.
It's $1.15, so €1 is $1.15. But like you're getting glasses of wine for $3, my wife and I had dinner last night. Like our full dinner, I think it was like $40. Sit down, really nice Italian restaurant,
So they have
like
Italian
$40.
restaurants. Let me ask you this: how's the team doing so far?
So listen, I coming over to Europe where rugby is a little bit more popular. And I mean, listen, we went to this rugby stadium where, we don't have. We have rugby clubs in the States, but like it's just more popular in Europe. I was expecting us to get smoked, and we smoked these guys. We beat them 38-12.
Wow.
We had three different. Yeah, we put three different teams in. My son played on the first game. Shut him out. Second team, it was we did really well. I was very, very happy. But from what I hear, there's another. Excuse me.
You just do it. Yeah.
Scusa me.
How do you say litter in Italian? I'll get it. Sorry. So these people just walked by and get littered, and then I just made eye contact with the lady, and I'm like, oh. What was I saying?
Okay.
It's the same.
It was about
the
the stadium, the games, the rugby. It's all going well.
Yeah. So the next match we play is on Wednesday, and I'm actually not going to be able to be there. I'll fly back to see you guys.
Yeah.
But from what I hear, the team that we played yesterday is probably the worst of the crew. So it'll be interesting to see how they fare against, because we're moving to Padua tomorrow, and then we play there on Wednesday, and then I think they're playing somewhere in Venice on Friday.
Casey, I traveled with you to Florida many times over the years, and your goal over those many years was to see an alligator. Obviously, this was a fantasy of yours, and you eventually got to live that dream last year when we were in Clearwater. What are you hoping to cross off your list to see while you're in Italy? Is there anything?
You know what, man? I have like no expectations. Like all I wanted good pasta. And apparently they love it al dente over here.
Yeah.
Kath, you've been to Italy before,
Yes.
right? Like, was that your experience with the pasta?
They love it
A
al
little more al
dente.
dente.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
It's
All
better
right,
for your
so-
belly.
What's that?
It's better for your belly. It digests better when it's al dente.
Oh, I'm not worried about my belly. I'm worried about my mouth.
Yeah.
I want my mouth. So, yeah. So I was a little bit disappointed in that because I don't like al dente. But like, all I wanted was some good spaghettis. I wanted some good pizzas. And I had really good pizza last night. I wanted some good gelato. Preston, we went to this gelato place and they basically had like the ice cream sandwich that you and I had in Epcot.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
what I got. I got this gelato and a brioche bun ice cream sandwich. It was
Phenomenal. That sounds excellent.
amazing. Yeah. But like, I don't know, man. I'm just kind of like playing this one by ear. I didn't really.
You're just chilling. You're just chilling in Verona. That's pretty damn cool.
Well, Casey, when Nick was looking up the sights to see, I was looking up the food to eat in Verona, and their dishes are a risotto. There's a gnocchi. That should be cooked to your perfection that you like. There's a boiled meat with a para sauce, which sounds good. It's breadcrumbs, pepper, cheese, and broth. But how about this? A pasta data de caval, which is horse meat. Would you try it?
Okay, so no. So my friend Ronnie ate horse meat 2 nights ago. Because he's game for because they eat horse and they eat donkey. I'm not going to eat horse and I'm not going to eat donkey. I'm not that kind of guy.
No, we knew that about you. You didn't even need to tell us that you were not the kind of guy who would eat a horse or a donkey.
Yeah, but also, Marissa, you said boiled meat. I was like, that's just those 2 words together. Boiled meat. No, thank you.
So in Verona, there, Case, any American restaurants, any American presence?
So right around the corner, there is a McDonald's in Preston. I wanted to go see if it is indeed called a Royale with cheese here.
Right.
So there was actually where I'm headed in a little bit. There's some KFC, just that sort of stuff. But also, like Preston, you were asking about prices. I didn't do a whole lot of shopping, but I did walk into one of the local soccer clubs, like almost like a Wrexham team store. And it was insane, like how cheap everything was. Like the sneakers, like that here, or I'm sorry, where you guys are, would cost like $100. They were like $50.
Wow.
My friend got this really nice jacket. Normally would cost, I would say, $120. She got it for $50. It's like stuff like that, or €50. But
Did you save some room in your luggage to bring back some goodies?
Yeah. It's funny, man, because when I was weighing my son's and my wife's suitcases, like my suitcase weighs 10 pounds less than both of theirs, and I'm going on 2 different vacations back to back. Well, not vacations, but So I definitely have room, and especially because I was going to bring my snowsuit to go skiing in the Dolomites, but since I didn't have to pack that or any of my ski gear, like I have so much stuff left over.
You're gonna try to catch any entertainment or anything? Like, I mean, you're there for a few days. You got there on Friday.
Yeah, no, I mean, for the most part, I'm just kind of like doing what everybody else is doing. So
just chilling out in front of the Vespa store.
Well, right around the corner from the Vespa store. And by the way, this is on Vittorio Veneto. I don't know. Is where I'm going to get my my espresso.
Okay. How was your flight? Pretty uneventful or anything interesting?
Uneventful, man.
All
I slept
right.
for like 4 hours.
That's the best.
I think it was like a 7-hour flight. Had nice people sitting next to me. But like, yeah, I mean, I wish I had stories for you guys. But like, really, the only story I have is that when I hopped on that train, once I got into Italy, just going, all right, I'm just going to start going in whatever direction this train takes me.
Italy has a Matterhorn too.
Dude, okay, so when we finally got over the Alps, that's when the sun came up, right? Because we flew at night.
Wow.
So I'm flying over the Alps, and Press, you and I were talking about how we love on the back of the seat on international flights. It kind of gives you
your location.
Shows you a map location of where you are. So I knew exactly what I was flying over, and I knew exactly how high up we were. And at this point, we were at 37,000 feet, and the Alps were like right underneath me. I couldn't believe how close they were to me.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Nick would probably know like how high up are those
mountains?
The mountain? Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I think the Matterhorn's like 12 or 14, something like that. But yeah, it's really cool that you're getting views of them. And I've heard that the Dolomites are just absolutely beautiful. And how far away are they from where you are right now in Verona?
2 hours.
Okay.
2 hours. Yeah, so there's no chance of me getting there right now.
No.
Casey, you're heading to get an espresso. Have you gotten one at a cafe yet in Italy, like by yourself?
Marisa, it's the first thing I did. I dropped my bags. Oh, that was another funny thing. I dropped my bags in the room, and then I immediately went and got 2 espressos. But when I got to the room, you have to put your, the lights were out, right? And the light switches weren't working. I was like, what the freak is going on here?
The key?
And then you have to put your key in the slot in order for your electricity to work in your room.
They're better at conserving energy than we are.
Yes.
No, it's pretty good stuff. Listen, they also do a lot of things stupid here too. But
let them know that.
No, I will. And I did yesterday when I was ordering my spaghetti at the snack stand.
This is stupid.
This is so dumb. No, because when you were ordering your food at the snack stand, you had to order, pay, and then they hand you a slip, and then you got to go to a whole different thing to go, and then you hand them the slip. I don't know. Well, maybe it is smarter. So the people that are handling the food aren't handling money. I don't know.
Well, the reason I asked you about the espresso is because that is a whole experience. It's not like we know where you run into Dunkin', grab a coffee, and walk with it. You sit there and you have your coffee at the counter, or you sit down. Coffee is at least a 30 to 40 minute experience when you're in Italy. So you stop what you're doing and you drink there. I don't even know if they have to-go cups.
Well, no, they do. Well, at least at the hotel they do.
Oh, okay.
At the hotel they do. But no, but that's what I wanted. And what was so great about this place is it just felt very I was like, okay, I'm here. This is exactly, what I had anticipated. So,
yeah, there's just a person
pointing at a pedestrian.
Casey's pointing out a person walking away from him. Okay, what?
It's a real Italian guy.
Oh my God! It's a real Italian guy.
I get so easily distracted. It doesn't really take much.
Get him on the phone. Get him.
Yeah, you want to go do an interview?
Yeah, go do an interview.
So everybody smokes here, by the way. Everybody's still yes, still.
Wow.
Well, is it because things are different there? There's no preservatives in the food.
No preservatives in the cigarette.
Healthier.
Yeah. Healthy cigarettes.
Are a little quote unquote healthier.
I think they do it because it's cool. Smoking is cool.
Yeah.
Dude.
Right. They want to be the cool country.
Case, I wanted to ask about the picture you sent us of the first guy you saw when you got into Italy.
I mean, so I send you guys. I'm walking out of the train station. I'm in Verona, Italy. I'm looking for the taxi cab stand, and I look over, and the first guy I look at is wearing. And I at first I didn't know what the sweatshirt said. I thought it was some like an Italian artist. I didn't know. But I was like, that looks familiar. And then I zooming in, dude's wearing a Rocky sweatshirt, straight up.
Who is Roque?
Case? He's the Italian stallion for crying out loud.
He is. So now I'm wondering. So I actually had to get a little bit closer. I was like, okay, is this guy American? You know what I mean? So I kind of it took a little while for me to take the picture because I wanted to listen in on his. But no, the dude was Italian. He was speaking Italian, so he wasn't like some Philadelphia guy. Wearing his Philadelphia attire. But dude, he was wearing, it was the Rocky at the top of the art museum steps, arms in the air raised sweatshirt.
That's great.
All right, so you're wearing a fish sweatshirt. Are you doing that to see if maybe you'll encounter some international fish fans?
No. I'm doing this because it was on the top of the pile.
Okay.
And I just needed to bring a sweatshirt. But
do you think you'll find an Italian fish fan?
I hope so. I did bring a little bit of fish gear with me. And, Press, there is, there's a song by a fish called You Enjoy Myself. And it is actually titled that because of Trey's experience in Italy. He was busking so he was busking the streets with John Fishman, one summer in Italy. And they ended up becoming friends with this Italian guy who, they were having a really, really great time, and they were laughing. And the guy says, when I'm with you, you enjoy myself. And so that's where the name of that song came from.
Okay.
And And then the lyrics from that song is actually Italian. They say, "Wash you feet, drive me to Firenze." So you can translate that for me, but that's Italian. So I guess maybe I did wear this just to.
Okay.
Yeah, you're holding up the fish fandom internationally. That makes sense. Getting the word out.
Do you have any standard Italian phrases at the ready? Should you need them?
Dude, I'm the worst. Grazie. Dude, like ciao bella.
Lasagna.
Lasagna. I can say lasagna.
If somebody says grazie to you, what's the response?
Prego.
Yeah.
Prego.
So you got a couple things. Yeah.
It's grazie. So
Grazie.
you know, I am gonna. Everybody that is not skiing, they're on this wine tour right now, and then they're gonna go meet at Lake Garda, and so I will eventually end up at Lake Garda. You guys want to look up pictures of that place? It is gorgeous. I know we all know about Lake Como.
Yep.
But this place is. When I passed it on the train, I was like, "Holy smokes! Wow! Like I don't think it's there." And as it turns out, I'm headed there in a little bit.
Nice. Excellent. So you've got. Is there any more rugby taking place over the next couple days?
Yeah, but I'm not going to see it. So so what we did last night is, and I really like this. So it's we had a draft last night. You know, think of like a fantasy football or whatever. So it's a parent draft, and then so tomorrow night when we end up in Padova, we're going to go out to dinner. And so me and my wife, this guy Greg and Lucia, and then another guy Joe, we're a team. And what we do is you draft players to take out to dinner, but like the rule is you draft your own son, you know. So it's kind of a way to get to know the team a little bit.
Right.
So we had our player draft last night, and then tomorrow when we end up in the new city, we'll take those kids out to dinner and get to know them and stuff. So
that's cool.
On Wednesday, I'm like, first thing, I'm not even going to see daylight in Italy on Wednesday at all. Like I'm hopping on a plane and headed to Tampa. So that's when they play their next match. So they got 2 more days of matches. But like, what an amazing experience for these young kids, man.
What an experience for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like whirlwind, and I hope I'm not taking all this stuff, for granted. You know what I mean? And I really hope my son isn't taking it for granted, because like this is, something like this. It's, 16, 17 years old.
It's really special.
Yeah, it is very special.
At that age.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Nice. Well, that's cool. I'm glad things are going, smoothly so far, and you're enjoying it, and you haven't had any real snafus or anything like that. And
no.
Yeah, we're looking forward to meeting up with you in Florida, man.
I know, man. I am looking forward to that. Like, that's the other cool part of this whole experience is like, I almost feel like I'm like a jet setter.
You are.
Like,
totally.
You're like James Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In front of the Vespa store.
Just in a couple of days, I'm going to be hanging with you guys beachside and in the ballpark, and having a whole different, set of experience.
Well,
you're looking forward to that.
You're seeing pieces of history. You're seeing one of the oldest coliseums in the world, and then you're also going to see the first Hooters in the United States.
Oh, man. Oh, my God.
So there you go.
Wow, that juxtaposition right there. Wow.
Yeah. All right. Well, all right, man. Well, listen, enjoy your time while you're there, and we'll meet up and we'll do our thing on Wednesday and then broadcast live on Thursday.
Yes, sir. And because we're doing this Zoom, I officially don't have to call this a vacation day.
No, this is work. This is work, most definitely.
Yes,
all right, buddy.
All right.
We will talk.
Oh, wait, no.
Adios. Arrivederci.
Merci.
All right, there he goes. Casey, our man.
Arigato.
He is in Italy as we speak, Verona, Italy. And Nick pulled up the lake he was talking about.
Holy
My
crap.
goodness.
Yeah.
I had never heard of that before.
Me neither.
And the pictures that you were showing of that castle or whatever it is.
Yeah, Lake Garda is the name of the lake that Casey referred to. And Steve, it looks like they could film any type of medieval movie there, because it's just unbelievably gorgeous. And there's literally a castle on the lake that looks like I don't know. It's just unbelievably gorgeous.
So you were Venice, you said, Preston, mostly?
Venice, yes.
Venice, yeah.
We did. That was it. That's the only part of Italy that we visited. And that was amazing because it's such a unique city and the water and everything like that.
Is that where you were robbed?
But no, that was in Nice, in France. But it's interesting, Casey had mentioned about people speaking English in Europe. When I took that European trip, we went to Germany, Italy, Austria, and where else did we go? And France. But I found that in Italy, we had the most difficulty
with the language,
as far as language, because Germany, everybody spoke English.
Right. Yes.
Austria, same thing, and France was a little more difficult, but Italy was where we ran into some communication.
Where'd you say you went in Italy?
Venice.
Oh, which is I was going to say maybe you were in a smaller area.
Did you find it?
No, not at all. I remember the only place where they didn't speak English was at a gelato shop, and I was trying to order the chocolate, and when you speak Spanish in Spain, it's not like Mexico, and in schools you learned Mexico, they didn't understand what I was saying, and but no, other than that, no. And that's why I was so comfortable going there, was because of I knew that I could get around if I needed, and it's one of the reasons I've never been to France, because I don't speak one word of French.
Yeah.
So if anything happened, I would be screwed.
But with translator apps now,
it's different now.
I mean, they're so easy to use, and you can go with the world's languages on your phone. Just make sure, and you can download them if you fear. Oh, what if I don't have cell service? Some people might find that. I understand that some people might consider it rude but you're trying to translate through a device.
Yeah, if you really need to communicate.
Yeah, you need to communicate.
Steve, it's how I talk to the guys who did the kitchen in my house.
Oh, really?
On the app, because we would try to converse, and then I'd be like, hold on, and I'd put an app, and I'd show it to him, and he'd be like,
he knows exactly what you're talking about.
So I had the same experience in Italy and Portugal. Brazil was a little tough. Not as many people speak English there, but Matt and I were in Quebec. And we were getting around, no problem. Everybody spoke English until we get to one restaurant, and people didn't have no English whatsoever. Yeah. We thought, and then we started making friends with the servers and trying our best, as long as you try. And then suddenly they were fluid. It was like they didn't want
in English.
Sometimes they're reticent too. They want you. They want you to make the effort, which I can understand to some level. But I mean, if it translates into business, relax a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But it sounds like he's having a good time, which
it does.
is cool.
Yeah, I feel it sucks that he's sick, man, though. Some people, I think he's one of them, whenever they get aboard a plane, they get sick.
Yeah, and it's funny that he feels like a jet setter, because only one or two times have I flown to a destination and then flown to another destination that was not home, and you really do feel like you're jet setting around the world. I went from Myrtle Beach to Chicago. And I felt I was a big traveler. I went from Philly to Myrtle Beach to Chicago and then back to Philly. I'm like, look at me.
Most of my...
no, I'll need an open-ended ticket, please.
Yes. You must be a spy. But again, going back to the stand-up days, that'd be very constant, where you'd be daisy-chaining flights.
Yeah.
And now I'm flying puddled Allegheny Airlines, where they don't refer to you as Mr. Bond.
Right.
But yeah, it was all. There is something cool about it. It wears you down quickly, though.
Oh yeah.
If there was nothing else in life to stress about, I'd be okay. But it's too much.
How wiped out is he going to be when he's going straight from there to work with us? It's not like he's going to come home and get a couple of days to reacclimate. He will now have been in Europe for 5 days? 5 or 6 days. And then he comes back and goes back to our schedule of getting up in the morning.
But I think it's easier to come back
than
it
word.
is to go there.
Maybe.
He attempted to equalize. You could hear him say, he said that he attempted to do this stayed up. But then also he's coming back to... daylight savings. I don't know.
Totally.
We'll see how he's going to be.
I'm going to be feeling it in the next day or two.
Did you feel the 1 hour?
Not this morning. But I know tomorrow.
Right.
I'm usually pretty good, and then right after that, then it nails me.
We know that statistically, Dr. Mike has talked about it. The occurrence of heart attacks and strokes increases.
Right? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, your circadian rhythm gets
is thrown off,
interrupted, and that's important.
And maybe before we die, it'll go away. Honestly, it's so antiquated, it's so stupid. I hate it so much. I've ranted on it plenty of times on the air. I'm not going to do it again. I just feel like we need to get past it. There's no point in having it anymore.
There's a good chunk, I think, what are we looking at? Like 52% or 40%? It's almost neck and neck at this point where people are like,
No, it's a lot more. There are far more Americans. It's one of the only things that unifies Americans these days. It's like 65 to 70% of the people agree that it should go away. And people, I think, Steve, disagree on whether it should be daylight saving or daylight standard time. But the hour switch, it's not necessary.
I don't know what I just saw, but it was a survey that seems to suggest, and it might be a nuance of it, that there's more of an even split than there's been in a long time.
But I think the people that are not on the yes, it needs to change, or at least I can only speak for myself, are kind of like, yeah, sure, yeah.
Yes, I don't care.
Whatever, man.
Yeah.
It's not going to change me too much.
And I'm kind of either way. Both, it doesn't matter. But I mean, I do. Who doesn't want to get an extra hour of sleep as opposed to losing an hour of sleep?
But by the time we're at Coco's, I think old Casey Boy is going to be wiped out from that. So we'll see how he holds up. All right. Well, it was nice to check in with him. He is obviously out tomorrow and the next day, and we will join him and have him on the air on Thursday, as we will be in spring training for the Phils. Getting excited for it. All right. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back in a second. More goodies on the way. Stay put. We'll return shortly.
Preston and Steve.
So I'll agree hands down. Like, we have the best athletes ever in the history of professional wrestling right now in WWE. However, I have a guy named Amos right now who's 7'4".
Well, you don't want to piss him off.
No. Right. But I'd say he's an even more impressive athlete than Andre was. As fantastic of an athlete as Andre was, and the way he would move around the ring. I'd say Amos, even though he's newer, he's got more potential athletically for sure.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, listen, you're always going to have the showstoppers, right? You got your Andre the Giant, your King Kong Bundys, your Hulk Hogan's, Big John Studd, the big dudes that are the showstoppers. The Rock,
Undertaker.
Sure. But you also, I mean, you have your, would you say pound for pound best wrestler of all time? Somebody like Shawn Michaels, or
you can absolutely argue that. Yeah, totally.
And listen, Shawn Michaels is not, he's not a twig,
showstopper,
but he is also, he's just got such amazing athleticism that and that's what people go to see.
Yeah, I mean, listen. We've talked about this many times, and it is not false praise to say that the people that we have who come in are the wrestlers, are the best entertainers, the best with the audience. That's why they can port so easily, a la Dwayne Johnson, into movies. Yeah. You know how to do it, so a film career in your future, could be possible. Yeah. And so with that, I mean, I don't think there's any kind of training for being in the public eye and for doing that sort of work that's any better than the WWE and this world you're in right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
I agree completely. Just the experiences I had, even on my journey to get to WWE and traveling around the world and learning how to make a career as an independent wrestler.
Right.
Very similar to an independent musician has to find their bookings that they work, that they enjoy working.
Sure, yeah.
Can make them a profit or get them noticed, and merchandising and stuff like that, and then just meeting connections and growing. That experience alone, I feel like I can do anything. I can take on whatever I need to.
When did you learn that portion of it? Because you go to high school and you're a good wrestler, right? And that's athletics. But did you go to drama club? Did you learn how to write a script? Because there are these storylines that, as just a guy who's competing in wrestling, that you're not worried about that. But then you get into the entertainment side of things, and it really changes the dynamic. So how did you, and when did you learn that part of the business?
So I would say that the high school wrestling, if anything, it didn't really push me into the pro wrestling career. If anything, gave me a good foundation athletically to kind of not get hurt in training.
Right.
The performance side of everything and the creative side of everything, that kind of grew organically for me just over time, gradually, because I was independent. I didn't have somebody strictly coaching me on just, you need to do this here, you got to do this, at certain times. I had to kind of experiment and find that out on my own. Now, I did work for certain places that had very scripted out storylines and stuff like that.
Right.
And that's another thing I had in my wheelhouse, just based on that experience alone. It wasn't one strict thing. I'd say it took me about 6 years to start to get comfortable and learn all of that and how to put it all together, just for me. That was my story. But just a very gradual experience learning the performance side of it.
What was Mom and Dad's reaction when
architect.
From architect.
What do
to
you mean?
engineer. Yeah, right.
Oh, we had hoped you would put that architecture stuff aside.
That was not the conversation that we had.
There's no work in architecture.
No, it was interesting. Like my family, they knew that I was super passionate about it, but they didn't really get professional wrestling. They didn't understand it. So to do it on an independent level, that's real scary as a parent, seeing your kid just go and just mess around at these shows. You don't even know what's happening there. He could get hurt. He's not making money. I'm making maybe $50 to $200 at most. That's a really good payday on an independent level, for real. So like that's pretty scary as a parent.
Do you know what's funny though? If you were to go, and I wonder if you go to your parents and say, "I would like to become a Hollywood stuntman," or a wrestler. Because essentially, in this what they call sports entertainment, you know, it's there's just a nuanced difference between them, but still, just somehow we think. But that has to, look. They look at your success.
Did you see the movie The Wrestler?
We talk about it all the time. It's amazing.
So, I was very lucky to be there when they were filming it at the arena in South Philly. My poster's in the movie.
That's awesome.
Little tidbit. Yeah. But one of the things I thought was so cool about when Aronofsky created that story is that he did it kind of in conjunction with Black Swan.
Yeah.
And he considered, originally they were the same movie, and then he turned the ballerina into a stripper, and that's where Marisa Tomei's character came from. So he made Black Swan separately. But when they designed that story, it was the merging of like what people consider a low-class art form and what people consider a high-class art form between wrestling and ballet.
That's wild.
And showing the obsession that performers can go through trying to reach heights in the same thing. Yeah.
But it's such
very cool.
It's such, and also I'll say this in the evolution, you guys are always like whip smart. You know, there was this perception for the longest time. You know, these things. But to conduct these things and to do this at the level you do it, you know, is very intense. And talking about getting your thing. What is your gimmick? What is your, you know, because you've got to have that immediate high concept thing that the audience can go, okay, he's this guy, he's the heel, he's the you know, he's the bad guy or the good guy, or we don't know.
Bad guy, guys.
So let me ask you, given your druthers, what appeals to you more? The heel or the hero, or
being a good guy or a bad guy?
Yeah.
I like both. I'm rare. Like I actually, most people would say that like, I like being a heel because that's easier. It's easier to get people pissed off at you instead of you know, people to cheer for you authentically.
But I
enjoy both.
I always love the transition out of the bad guy who's suddenly like, wait a second, he might be good, because the audience tends to like. We understand this guy now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They know.
So many of them,
follow.
we're bad and then become good.
I think historically, too, those are the most successful kind of characters that take off. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin's a perfect example, where he came in when he started doing the Stone Cold character. Like, he was just badass, no nonsense, but he was beating up people that people really cared about. And you know, that was not enjoyed for a lot of fans. And then they started realizing he doesn't take crap from anybody.
Yeah.
And then it was a natural, organic turn. And then he became the biggest star in wrestling at the time.
Hey, do you as a wrestler get a say in your storyline? Can you suggest things at least?
So the most surprising thing that I've learned about working with WWE is how collaborative everything is.
Really? Okay. That's awesome.
Fans are usually surprised to hear that.
Yeah.
And I know like a lot of wrestlers who are trying to make it there are very surprised to hear that a lot of the time.
Okay.
Drew, you get to perform in front of fans again soon in person. It's been a year and a half, right?
Yeah, man.
And
we got
so
fans coming back.
and when and where is that going to happen?
So I believe it's the second week in July. We're doing a tour in Dallas. It's going to be SmackDown in Houston, and I believe Money in the Bank is that weekend in Fort Worth, and then Raw, which is the show that I'm currently a part of, will be in Dallas. And then from there, we just kind of go.
That's cool.
You know what was the proof that what you guys do is effective is that, bereft of an audience when you were conducting it, it sort of looked like a wild stage play, like Arthur Miller meets wrestling, and yet the fan base stayed, for the most part, locked in.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, so if you didn't have the ability to riff and to, you know, It was just such a weird thing. The audio from a lot of those matches is some of the funniest stuff because you always hear the crowd and the murmur and the whole thing and all that punctuating.
Yeah.
And suddenly it became Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? And it's this weird thing, but you guys were able to do it. You know,
that was an amazing experience. Not in a good way, but just not in the best way. It was just unique and amazing to be a part of that. Like Vince McMahon is very dedicated, extremely dedicated, and like there was no way he was going to stop the show. He had to keep the show going. We did it.
Do you think anything's going to stay? Is there anything that you guys gleaned from that will stay with the post-COVID world of wrestling?
I think technologically we advanced a lot of things. Building the Thunderdome, which is what they called the live stage that they built. Testing things with like augmented reality for people's entrances and just that kind of stuff all got laser focused on because we were in a sterile environment at first. So you'll see a lot of that carry on to the live events in new ways that you probably haven't seen yet, for sure.
I'm going through your Instagram, which is just it's definitely a fun scroll here. But
thanks, man.
There's a picture of you and the Nature Boy. I mean, that is, for a fan, like you're a fan before you were an employee, right? Like, so, and it just says always an honor. So when I read that, I go, oh, so you've met and hung out with Ric Flair more than one time. Like, that's got to be so cool.
It's awesome. He comes by all the time, even if he's not, featured on the show. His daughter, extremely successful wrestler, Charlotte Flair, very talented. So he'll come by and like watch her perform, or he'll just come and support the other wrestlers. And Rick's awesome.
I got an email from a guy. I wasn't going to say anything I didn't know you had a connection with Ric Flair. I got an email from a guy who was desperately trying to get Ric Flair to be the best man at his wedding.
Oh, okay.
And he wanted me to ask you about it. And I'm like, I don't know, man.
He's got a wedding reception website.
No way.
I wouldn't doubt it.
He's also a moil.
Yeah, need a Preston.
But honestly,
Ric Flair was my moil.
How much is that guy willing to pay, and how much is what's the number for Ric Flair to do that?
Right
Probably.
I got to imagine a couple 100,000.
I've mentioned this before, but I grew up just as a kid detesting, hating. I thought he was the most vile human being, Ric Flair. I hated him. He was so mean to everybody. He was such a show-off. And it wasn't until I was a full-grown adult, well into my 40s, that I was on YouTube, and I pulled up a video of, like, Ric Flair's greatest rants. And I didn't know how much entertainment that guy had given me as a kid, and I just fell in love with him. I did, because I literally, I was like scared of the guy when I was a kid.
That's how I felt about Sergeant Slaughter. I was like legit. Wow. I was like, oh my, because I saw him like whipping some guy, and I was like, dude, he's beating that guy with a whip. Like, that's right. Like, what if he comes to my house?
It's so great though that becomes. That's the stuff you carry with you through your life.
He stole Harley Race's cowboy hat and crumpled it up, and I'm like, you don't do that, And I was just, but I didn't realize it until later that it was actually a really, those memories are so fun to think about. And it was something special, man. And you're creating those memories for some people.
Yeah, it's surreal. Like, that's it's really cool. I don't take it for granted.
So Ric Flair is undoubtedly a legend, and everything the credit is credit due, right? But I was texting with a friend yesterday, and I am so exhausted by the Ric Flair woo at Phillies games and Flyers games. It personally drives me nuts. Have you heard it, and do you have an opinion on that? Like, have you ever heard like fans? They do the woo.
So of course, I will be in a crowd randomly outside, and people will say woo.
Right.
And it's like just knowing where it comes from. It's really cool. I take pride in being a part of the community. The yes chants. Have you?
Yeah.
So, Daniel Bryan, exactly, someone who I was very close. I'm very close with. So like that kind of stuff is awesome.
But it turned to no for a while too, or something, right? That confused me. Or he was saying no, or.
Well, you're a good guy. Yeah.
He's a good works, man. He's been by here a bunch of times. I like him a lot.
He's great.
I never get tired of the woos. I'm okay with them all the time. My neighbor across the street from me, whenever he comes outside, if we're outside, he goes, woo!
Seriously?
And he's older too.
Well, what reaction do you give him when you go?
I give him a woo back.
So he's going to do it every time.
And then I do it to him. So now when I see him, I go, woo. And
That's
he
your
goes,
thing.
woo.
He thinks you're best friends.
It's like
Here's-
Screaming Slayer, right?
That's right. Here is a storyline I'd love to see for you guys.
Okay.
By the way, if you're just tuning in, it's Drew Gulak. I just want to reset from WWE.
thanks.
Here. Yep.
And I think this opens up a new, perhaps a new audience. What about
WMMR.
Thank you very much, Kath. I was a little bummed out. No, I was a lot bummed out to see this news over the weekend. There is an establishment in my general area that I've been taking my kids to since they were babies, and it's been around a lot longer than that, and it is closing. Freddie Hill Farms and Freddie's Family Fun Center are closing at the end of the 2025 season.
So I've never been, but I feel like I've been because you've mentioned it a number of times over the years, like a destination.
Yeah, it was always part of the, my fall activities list. That was one of the places we went to. Our school district, that's where the kids did their field trip in the spring and fall. They would, when they were younger in elementary school, that's where they would go. So, yeah, it's so sad that it's closing.
These places are closing down, these little nostalgic, beloved places, and this is another one on the pile. It sucks.
Two of my best friends live right up the road from it, Preston. You know where they live, right off of Town Pike, and so we could walk to Freddie Hill from their house, which bums me out. And I think it's gonna last through the season, right? And then closes.
Yeah,
at the end of this
2025.
year.
It'll wrap up at the end of the season. Yeah.
But we had 2 birthday parties for Ben there, and Steve, like his mini golf and the badass ice cream, fantastic ice cream, but batting cages. It was a cool
petting zoo,
yeah,
driving range, miniature golf, batting cages. Like you said, they also had a little pro shop there. You could take lessons and stuff. And
so, what was the
two different miniature golf courses?
Yes,
which it was always like trying to get the kids to figure out which one we were going to play.
You're going to go left. We're going to go right.
I liked going left.
I did too.
I thought. Now, however, on the right, you had you had a cave in that one, which was pretty amazing.
That cave was hilarious. You could pretend to hide in that cave.
Yes, you could. But you were going to ask what the reasoning behind this, Steve? So here's the statement from Freddie Hill. It said, after heartfelt consideration, we, the Seeped family, have decided to close Freddie Hill Farms and Freddie's Family Fun Center at the end of the 2025 season. They just said, we're looking forward to retirement after decades of running a rewarding and challenging business. And they said, it is bittersweet. It's a bittersweet reality that all good things must come to an end. Our family is deeply grateful for your support over the last 53 years, and we and for the support and the opportunity to serve our community and our customers. We've enjoyed sharing this fun place with our family and friends, and we hope that you have fond memories as well. Please join us for your favorite ice cream treats and fun center activities this coming season.
With something like this, do you think they should do what they did on the Little House on the Prairie with, blow it up?
Just blow it up. Just destroy it with TNT. What's interesting is that we've been doing miniature golf there for years and all the other things, but only one year did we go and do a pumpkin picking excursion because they have, hay rides and things like that. Here's what I didn't know. It's 94 acres.
Wow.
The whole parcel itself is 94 acres.
Yeah, we did the hayride one time, and it just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah.
It's like, where the golf courses are, Preston, it's to the right. It's closer to the northeast extension there. And you you can you wander through like the maze and through the corn area. There's like a little ramp that you can get up to get onto the back of the tractors, and they all out. It's really fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss it.
There's a place, I love those places, and obviously like, Linvilla and all those kind of places, these establishments that are part of the history. Any idea as to what the land is going to be used for?
No idea. The land is not protected farmland, according to this release. So, they may sell it and develop and build on it. What's one of the most interesting things I found about Freddie Hill was, and I don't think it was, I think they closed it eventually. So it was as an active dairy farm, which is why they make ice cream there. But they had this room that you could go into, and I've never seen anything like it, Stephen. It's where the cows were being milked by the apparatus. And it was this circular room with this moving platform that moved around in a circle, and the cows were on it, and they had their udders hooked up to these machines, and you could watch them being milked.
Wow.
It was the strangest thing I'd ever seen.
It's like almost like the champagne room.
Yeah. It's like, what am I doing here?
But I mean, I always found that when we were kids and we would go on field trips to things like that, going to the dairy farm and seeing that was, there used to place actually was pretty close to most of the schools that I went to school at. And it was, nobody didn't like going to these places.
Somebody says, we got a text here that says, Preston and Steve Farms. You guys should buy it.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, I love a farm.
This text also says, my wife and I got naughty in that cave. Fun times. they
Really?
said.
How big is this cave that you could get naughty?
It's not very big, no.
So they had to be standing up?
Yeah.
I remember my favorite field trip. I mean, we did go to farms and stuff like that, but our favorite trip, or mine, was the zoo. We would go to the Philly Zoo. If you were in the photography department in high school, you got to go to the Philly Zoo and take pictures, and that was like the best trip.
Well, when we were, I mean, if you're talking about, these places were always home runs because they're not really, you know, if you're going on an educational field trip, that can get dicey because who wants to learn? You want to go and have fun. But I do remember we would go to the Museum of Natural History in New York. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
The Bronx Zoo in New York, and then the Hall of Science, which was another one. But one of the one that I dug that everyone else hated was the fish hatchery. Where they had, you know, I thought it was cool, but I remember my classmates.
I would have thought that was cool.
Look at their hat doing fish.
Oh God, we went to the wastewater treatment plant. That was a college field trip.
Yeah,
we had
that's
to go.
an environmental thing.
Yeah,
you got to love that.
Humans in the environment was the class. Wait, did I can't remember. Did we talk about this on the air? My nephew's review of the field trip he went on.
No, we didn't get a chance to do that.
So can I read it to you?
Sure.
It's really quick. He is in third grade, and nothing to the location that they went because it is a great place. Just maybe not for a third grader who's interested in it. But they had to fill out a reflection sheet on what they thought of the field trip.
Almost like their version of a Yelp review.
That's exactly what Steve, there's stars and everything that he had to fill in. So he went to the Philadelphia Orchestra, and it says, 3 things I observed. He said, I saw people, I saw orchestra, I saw music makers. My favorite part was nothing.
Wow.
My question I have, why do they make music in the dark? Rate this trip. He gave it a 0.5 star.
Whoa.
And he handed it into his teacher.
That is a brutal review.
Brutal.
It's as generic as can be. I would have found that cool.
I said, I guess you didn't like it in third grade, the orchestra, maybe not.
I don't know.
Well, I might have because the instruments and stuff wowed me when I was a kid. But that's brutally honest. I mean, he followed the assignment.
Here's the deal.
did it.
Yeah.
Any field trip, you're ahead of the game. You're leaving school.
Oh, yeah.
You're killing time.
Yeah.
You're not in school. So already you're operating a few notches up. So even if they don't quite stick the landing, it's like when they were calling you into the auditorium for a speaker or something.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what it was.
Yeah, you were getting out of class.
You're getting out of class.
Yep.
We went to the Limerick power plant, and I thought it was like,
Whoa.
yeah, and I felt like it was like real life Simpsons. Like I was going
Totally.
to Homer's work.
Yeah, man.
I mean, a nuclear power plant is pretty amazing.
We went to a textile mill when I was a kid. I didn't get too much out of it.
That wasn't, see, that
Still,
wasn't for
though,
you.
and you're kind of afraid of machines.
Marissa or Kathy, did you guys ever do Smithsonian, like Air and Space Museum or anything along those lines? A
Yes.
DC trip?
Yeah, we did the DC trip.
Yeah.
We
got to do that a few times. You did not, Steve?
We did.
Oh, okay.
Actually, and it was, that was a big one because that was a 2-day field trip.
Yeah.
We actually
Hotels.
stayed over, yeah.
And not just school buses, like the big fancy buses with the bathrooms in the back.
Yes, that was always fun when you got those.
Yeah.
We did for the science class. We would go to Six Flags Great Adventure, and you'd have to like complete, the physics sheet or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we did also. I can't remember exactly what grade we were in, but we did a New York trip, and we went to Chinatown. Thinking back, like, I can't believe we were allowed to do that.
Right.
Like, go into New York City.
And walk as a group so you're like down on Canal Street and all that. In
Look,
China,
Chinese people.
Well, I mean, just you can get lost.
Yes, you can.
You can have a straggler get away from you.
And I remember having chaperones, but they didn't walk with us. Like, I think they were like, okay, everyone meet back here at this time.
What grade?
We were in high school.
Oh, all right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like,
it's like kindergarten. Here's your per diem. We'll catch you back here at 5.
Yeah. Somebody comes back with a little vial of cocaine or something like that.
I found.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe the parents were supposed to be with us. I don't know.
By the way, to double back to Freddie Hills, I got this text from somebody I had mentioned the place where you could see the part of the dairy farm working, and I've never heard this term before, but they said it's called a rotary milking parlor.
A rotary milking parlor.
That's what I had seen.
Yeah.
Rotary milking
They usually
parlor.
raid those places.
Yeah, right. There's another term for Jack Shack.
Jack Shack. We're looking at the device right now. That is awesome.
Isn't that wild?
That's almost like a Gravitron for cows.
Yeah, it's
They should invent a Gravitron for cows. Like every amusement park should have one of
So,
those.
Nick, the centrifugal force would force the milk out.
So with this, going back to the Freddie Hill, Nick had mentioned that you knew some friends that had birthday parties there.
We did. We had two.
You had two birthdays.
Yeah, for Ben.
For Ben.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And did he choose that, or you guys chose
I think so. I mean, our friends, the Chartrands, lived nearby, so we could, like I said earlier, we could walk to Freddie Hill from their house. But it was just he picked it, and we did it twice. Maybe 5 and 6 birthday. When he turned 5, when he turned 6.
What's the best kid's birthday party
all right
you think you ever went to?
I'm glad you brought this up because my friends were in town over the weekend and they went to a kid's birthday party, and I think it's like for a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, and that's a different dynamic than a kid's birthday.
It's
However,
like taking a canned ham out.
well, Steve, it was an interesting dynamic because there was little to no food served at all.
Oh, wow.
And so
Big mistake.
Well, is it or is it not? I honestly have no idea for kids that young, because it's like the kids that age, it's like a 2-hour party, right? Longer than that, you're going to start to need to take naps and stuff.
Yes.
So I don't know if it's a faux pas to not serve food at a kid's birthday party when they're that young.
Maybe a flight of juice boxes and some pairings with cheese.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like you're dictating the party. Like that sounds like a 1 to 3. Like you've already had lunch.
Yeah.
Or maybe like 2:30 to 4:30. Then you've
always
already
need to
had
have
lunch.
food, though.
It shouldn't. I mean, I don't know.
Listen, if I was a kid
Pizzas?
and I went to a birthday
Yes.
party and I didn't have one of those ice cream cups with half vanilla,
Yeah,
half
yeah,
chocolate,
yeah.
I would have freaked the F out.
That's part of the party. Like
Yeah.
that's, you know what I mean?
You're-
Entertaining them. It's like, okay, now it's time to sit down and we're going to do this. when they're
Eating
that young.
garbage food. That's what you
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
When I was a kid, roller skating parties were all the rage.
Yes.
That's what we would do. Those I loved.
Would that have been your birthday party of choice?
I had
Roller
one.
parties.
In fact, I know I had one as a kid. I had a roller skate party. That was a lot of fun.
I was summer, so I always had a pool party. Always, always.
Yeah. No, I was winter time, so I was relegated to indoor activities.
Yeah.
I had 2 Preston roller skating, Radnor Rolls.
Yeah.
Nick, I'm sure you went to many parties there.
And fell on my ass.
Is right where a Z is on on Lancaster
30.
Avenue on Route 30, right there, right by the Blue Route, before the Blue Route existed. And then there was another place, because we lived in Jersey for a little while, and we used to have parties at Malibu Grand Prix.
And
Which
what
was
was
like which was a go-kart place.
Go-kart. See,
Yeah.
those are home runs. I never
And-
had stuff like that.
And Steve, they would make you a driver's license.
Oh.
Like you would go
Like-
and you would get your photo taken, and then you would get a little like laminated card.
And was it
if
legit?
Yes. If you
I
quote,
can
unquote,
vote now.
forgot it, then you got to get a new one every
That's
time.
awesome. And
Yes.
so it's strictly go-karts?
I'm pretty sure they had an arcade or something. I don't quite remember, but I just looked it up. It actually was like a franchise, and they had one in Mount Laurel.
Yeah, Ben went to a few birthday parties at Arnold's, Marissa. So and we did Grand
Arnold's
Prix.
is great.
It's so much fun. And for a birthday party, it was badass. There was a lot to do. Parents can have fun. Like if parents are having fun at a kid's birthday party, it's a good time.
Yeah.
Wow. No, Arnold, that's a good call.
Yeah.
And go-karts, you can't go wrong with that.
No.
Getting out and...
I would have loved go-karts. We didn't have a really good go-kart place near us, so that was a lot of times the birthday celebration was the dinner or the lunch or something you go out during the day, but we didn't I predated. We were still fighting the larger dinosaurs. So that was it was a game of survival.
Somebody texted in bowling parties. That was always a good time.
That was my
As a little
bachelor
kid.
party. Was a bowling party.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I listen.
Yeah, I know you're not a bar guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, totally.
Bachelor party was bowling. It was a lot of fun. My brother's-in-law.
Bowling parties were fun when they put on the bumpers when you were still old enough to not have the bumpers anymore, and then you would play off the bumpers.
Actually, on purpose.
Yes.
Hit the bumpers. No, I agree. But Freddie Hills. That was a good place for kids' parties, and I'm bummed out. It's going to be gone. And
What have we lost recently? We lost that. We lost the place with all the Christmas decorations.
oh
Captain,
yeah,
you
that
were-
was
Beanies.
County Line. No, County Line in Harleysville.
Right. The one that Kathy brought up was called Feeney's.
Oh, yeah.
Phoenix was the other one.
That was the garden center.
So Freddie Hill, it says here, is 53 years old. I would have thought it was way older than that.
Huh.
But
maybe as a family fun center, it's only 53.
Probably. The farm's probably been there for a long time.
I wonder if they're going to sell off any of their, any of the stuff that's nostalgic, like they did with the down at the shore.
So yes. There was another place, Steve. It was another miniature golf place, which is not too far from where I was. It was Woody's, and when they closed because they ended up building a hospital there, they sold all the. When you go to a miniature golf course, there was like an 8-armed,
Vishnu or
deity.
Shiva,
It was Vishnu,
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd like to have that. They were like, we're selling these things.
Yeah,
I didn't buy it. Rochelle would have killed me if I would have bought.
Look what I got, hon. I got that. I got Vishnu.
So they have, they do have some miniature. I guess they didn't have like the classic windmill or
I'd
anything
want
like that. But
I'd want the windmill.
They have stuff. They have a couple of things. They had like a small house that they'll probably sell. I would think. I mean, what else are you going to do with that?
Unless
stuff?
you sell it. Unless there's, listen, nostalgically, if you spent many a celebration there, to have a piece of that. When the Ugly Moose closed in Manayunk, which Claire and I had dinner and so many great meals. In fact, the show, we had a celebratory dinner there one time for lunch. There was a kind of the bust of like an Indian chief over the door going in, and we got that.
You did get it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, and it's a little thing, but it means a lot to have that. You're connected to the past. So I feel bad when I hear about places like this closing because they mean so much to so many people.
And somebody texted in, and I have no idea what the answer is, but what's going to happen to all the animals at Freddie Hill Farms?
They'll blow them up.
Okay. All right, well, that'll solve that problem.
Go to other farms.
I don't know if I think they may have closed the petting zoo part of it.
Oh, really?
A while back. I thought I read that in an article that at one time there was a petting zoo.
You know what you could do?
Anymore.
You could take that spinning cow carousel and accelerate it.
Launch them in. To the surrounding fields. You could just open the gates, see where they wander off to.
I swear to God, I saw a cow just fly through the air about 10 minutes ago.
The thing I always found interesting about the petting zoo there was, so it's right next to the ice cream shop. And so you would get your ice cream and you walk over to the petting zoo. And it just smelled like just feces. And you're sitting there eating your ice cream while smelling poop.
And when you reverse that, you could go and pet the animals, and then you go in and you have the ice cream. You're like, we're washing our hands, right, kids?
Yeah.
No, it tastes better with anthrax.
Yeah. So I don't know what they're going to do.
Back to birthday parties. I've never been to a Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, wow. We did 2 of those, too.
Would that still hold up now if I went now and experienced it?
I think it's mostly targeted for adults.
No, remember they did do a campaign a few years ago where they were trying to bring in divorced parents. They were
no, I
come
don't.
come and hang out. We have better food options, and there's a place to hang out.
The thing about so the difference between regular arcades and a Chuck E. Cheese arcade, I found anyway, were that all the games are all targeted towards little kids.
Okay.
So there's very little skill to them, and it's
you have the party rooms. Obviously, the whole thing is based on those party rooms. I was in one. I walked in with my friend. His son was addicted to Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay,
lived in. In fact, I remember one of those great parent conversations. I'm sure you guys have all had. I want to go to Chuck E. Cheese. Can't go. Can't go. We can't go. We're driving in the car. We can't go. Why? Because it blew up. And there was a pause. It blew up.
But Marissa, it's not quite like say like Dave and Buster's,
Dave and Buster's?
or Arnold's. Yeah, it's for little kids. I don't think you would have as much fun.
We have fun at Arnold's. Yeah.
We used to cheat at Dave and Buster's. I used to take home the coupons and put, because they weighed them for, to get prizes.
What would you do?
We'd put Elmer's glue on the tickets.
Shut up! You would spend that amount of time just to. Oh my God! But that's how they would determine. They'd weigh them.
Yeah. So when you had so many of them, they didn't notice they were shiny.
Why didn't you etch some into marble?
I mean, what was I getting? Pencil erasers?
Oh, you were getting
and,
equally
candy,
horrific cheap crap.
bouncy balls.
A comb holder.
Somebody texted in, Preston, and said that there's no more animals at Freddie Hill, that they moved the cows off years ago to another farm.
Really?
And then there's a person named Trina. She says that locals are trying to buy Freddie Hill. They're petitioning to conserve the land so they can't build on it.
Oh,
So,
that'd be nice.
yeah, I hope they're successful in that endeavor.
I mean, listen, you see so much of this stuff where they're just jamming apartment complexes and condo complexes everywhere, and it's just too much. To have that space of land and keep it at least something like that, that would be terrific.
Yep.
And I've never been there, but I want this to go on as it is.
Well,
Steve, you should go
in the
this summer.
fall. In the fall, they have pig races.
Yeah.
Really?
Which are kind of fun. Yeah, those pigs haul ass too. I mean, they offer them a treat, and pigs will do anything for food.
Yeah,
and they go flying through these. They have little things they jump over and stuff. It's pretty cute. Yeah. Hang on, we're gonna go via Zoom. And by the way, if you want to jump in with a comment or conversation, you can text word Zoom to 39333, and we'll send you the link to get you on. We're going to talk to Brittany right now. Hi, Brittany. Good morning.
Hi, Gadzooks.
Gadzooks to you. What'd you want to tell us?
I had my 7th birthday party at Discovery Zone.
Discovery Zone. Remind me what that is.
It was one of those places where they had like the the jungle gyms that you could climb through.
Oh yeah.
Like the ball pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Was that your favorite birthday, you think? Favorite birthday party as a kid?
Probably, and I still miss it. I would go back now.
They should have, to Marissa's point, they should have adult versions of that. Where you could go do those things on maybe not as
well. So if you had a kid and you went to one of those places, chances are you ended up crawling around in that crap too because you had to go get your kid out of there sometime or another, and they're difficult to get around in. Yeah.
So when I went with Matt to Camp Woodward for the first time, I had to take like a training lesson to make sure I could like do somersaults and get to the foam pit. And trying to get out of the foam pit now
it's hard,
so
huh?
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
is Discovery Zone, was that a franchise?
You have any idea, Brittany?
Yeah, I remember it was a franchise.
Okay.
But there was one in the Northeast that of course everyone from Philly knows about if they grew up with it.
Right.
I love it.
Did you ever get hurt or anything like that in there?
No, but I'm pretty sure I got the chicken pox from there.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
All
you
those
did.
places. They said I remember there was a medical report about ball pits.
Yeah.
And how they are a breeding ground for disease.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, Brittany, thanks for checking in. We appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see ya.
Discovery Zone's headquarters were in Wilmington, Delaware.
Okay.
Have you guys ever been to those trampoline parks they have now?
Yeah, it's like Sky Zone
Yes.
and Urban Air.
Get Air, yeah.
Yep.
Urban Air.
I remember Casey like ripped his ankle.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, that's right.
That's where he popped his
Yeah.
Achilles or whatever. They have adult nights that I really want to go to.
Ooh.
So you don't have to push the kids.
I would love to, and my fear is I would go, and I'm pretty agile, and I do the trail running and all that stuff. But I just have this sneaking suspicion in the back of my mind. I'd do one jump, and I'd be
Kiss that MCL goodbye.
Right? Yeah.
Hang on, we're gonna go to Tiffany next. Hi, Tiffany. You're on the air. Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
We are great. So you went to a place. Was this for birthdays?
Yeah, so we would do it for birthdays, and we also would go for like summer recreation camps. Kathy would absolutely remember it.
What was it?
Marty's Circus of Fun.
Marty's Circus of Fun.
I don't remember that.
Really? So it's where the Nifty 50s, well, before it burned down, was in Ben Salem.
Oh, okay.
It used to be. So I worked there in the golf course, and when Marty sold it, he sold us all his rides. So we had Marty's rides when it was Nifty 50s, when we had the rides for like a brief period of time.
So how big was Marty's Circus of Fun? Was it indoor, outdoor, or just, what was it?
I believe it was just outdoor. Like it had like a little roller coaster. They had go-karts. They had like a tilt-a-whirl, stuff like that, like little rides. It was like your own little small amusement park within Ben Salem.
Was it indoor or outdoor?
She said outdoor.
Oh, okay.
I believe it was outdoor.
I do remember it.
You know what it
I
makes?
was gonna say I'm only a few years younger than you, and we used to go for summer rec all the time.
Okay. So you're 21, 22? Is that?
I was going to say you're super young like me still.
It's a couple years younger than Kathy. I love the notion, and if you stop and think about it, like in the movie Overboard, Kurt Russell's dream is to have this this miniature golf course, like this place that you're describing, that somebody wants to. There's a certain magic to wanting to set up a place like that, like a fun zone or something for people to go have a good time. It's I would assume that you're usually doing it for the best of reasons. Obviously, you want a successful business, but you're drawn to making people happy.
That place, I do know what
Thank
she's
you,
talking
Tiffany.
about. Whenever we would go by, we would say we want to go there. My mom would tell us no. So I don't know what the reasoning was. I'm not sure why we weren't allowed to go there, but it was
It's
enough.
dirty. It's got disease.
Well, no, because we went to Chuck E. Cheese
It'll
all the
give you
time.
anal cancer.
No, we went to Chuck E. Cheese all the time, so it wasn't
Some
that.
other reason.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but she was like, no.
Wow. So we would, when my kids were little, and it would be around, I guess, towards the beginning of the summer, when all the carnivals and fairs and things start setting up. If we were driving along and all of a sudden we see it, we'd say, hey, look over there. Look over there. Oh, look at me. I'm making this funny face. And just don't let them see it because they would not let you hear the end of it.
Once a kid sees that, you're gone.
All right, we are now going to Wendy via Zoom, and she wants to share a story. Hi, Wendy. Good morning.
Hi, guys. Good morning. Good morning.
Thanks for coming on. Where did you used to go when you were a kid?
Well, I grew up in South Central Pennsylvania, and the Baltimore Aquarium was a popular spot for birthdays.
For
in the
birthday
Inner
parties.
Harbor.
Yeah, it's a damn good aquarium.
Okay. And I know they have the same thing at Adventure Aquarium. We were members there for a little while, and I don't think we had a full on birthday party, but yeah, you could get setups like that.
Great party. We had a lost party there that was fantastic.
That was so
it was
good.
The room was the walls. 2 walls in the room were the Shark Tank.
Yes.
Man, it's funny. Like all of these places we're mentioning, Ben had a birthday party. Ben had a birthday party at the Adventure Aquarium. That was his 3rd birthday party. We did 2 at Freddie Hill Farms. We did 2 at Chuck E. Cheese. Kathy, we did 1 at Elmwood Park Zoo, that was a fantastic birthday party. And we had a lot of great birthday parties for that kid.
Wendy, did you have your own birthday party, or did you go to other kids' birthday party at the aquarium?
I went to other kids' birthday parties there. Yeah, we didn't do that, but I went to at least 2 or 3 birthday parties there when I was a kid. And you said about the roller skating, that has made a comeback. My daughter is big time into it.
Okay, where does she go? Do you know?
We like to use inline 309. In fact, she has asked, she turns 10 this year, and that is what she has asked to do for her birthday this year, is she wants a roller skating birthday party.
My youngest child works at Inline 309. That's why I asked.
That's so cool.
And by the way, are you a professional wrestler?
No, it's just wonder what the hell that
We
was.
are watching you via Zoom, and in the background, I see 5 championship belts. What is that?
Those are my husband's. He is a collector and he is big time into the wrestling. I work from home. This is the office, and this is where I told him he could keep his belt.
Okay, I was about to ask whether you had any say on where these wrestling belts get displayed.
My name is the Great Moomba. Because they're really well displayed.
Yeah. Oh, yes. We have the whole case, and we have to decide the rotation because I know there's more belts that may be coming. So we have to figure out space and rotation.
On a very special occasion, will you allow him to wear it? Say if you're going to a wedding or something like that?
No. But he is a teacher, and he has taken them to school. He has taken them to other events, but
God.
Well,
That's funny.
They're lovingly displayed. So yeah.
Imagine, Steve, people buying big things like
don't
that to
get it.
display in
I
their
have
home.
I have no place for that.
No.
Actually, right now I just got something I have no place for.
All right, Wendy. Thank you very much. Good talking to you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
All right. See you later. The whole time I'm looking at those belts in the background.
What the hell is that? I'm thinking, is that a fire department? No, those are wrestling belts.
Let's see. I'm going to go. Oh, let's go to Ricky next. This sounds really interesting. Hi, Ricky. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Happy Monday.
Same to you. All right. So you hosted, was this you that hosted this party you're going to tell us about?
It sure was.
And how old were you when you did this?
Well, it was for my daughter's 7th birthday.
Oh.
So this was a couple years ago, 4 years ago.
Okay. Do tell.
She requested a food fight birthday party.
Food fight.
Oh, that's
birthday
funny.
party.
Wow.
Right. So in the backyard, we had, we told all the kids to come in clothes that they could get ruined. And we had target practice with ketchup and mustard containers, like the squirt bottles.
Wow.
We made spaghetti wigs, and every kid got pied to the face.
This is one of the best things I've ever heard. As far as doing a birthday party goes, kids have always, when we were in the Scouts, one of the big events of the year was giving the pie in the face of the leaders. And if you, sold enough popcorn, you were allowed to do that. And so this is a great idea. Tell me that they had a ball.
Oh, it was the best time. It was the best time. She asked for it, and my husband and I thought she was crazy. And then we started talking, and why not?
Yeah, no, so did you built this from the ground up, or were there sort of pre-existing package ideas to do this?
No, we did it from the ground up.
Wow. I love that idea. This is something that you should do. You should do as a business.
I mean, not a bad idea.
Yes.
Oh, my God, that's excellent. All right, thank you, Ricky.
Have the best pictures of all these kids with their spaghetti and the pies. And
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, now, okay, question, though. The one concern I would have is, somebody getting hurt, potentially getting some, something in their eyes or somebody shoving a pipe. Did we just lose them?
Yeah.
It's okay. But I was curious if everybody made it out unscathed or not. But, yeah. Because
you lose a few.
Even in professional sports now, they give them goggles before the champagne comes out because that stuff hurts if it gets in your eyes. I would hope the kids would have goggles on.
Well, so now there is an escape room called Beat the Bomb.
Yes.
Have you guys seen this?
Absolutely.
Where there's like a paint bomb and a foam bomb.
Right. Yeah,
we talked about it.
There are a couple
bomb.
different versions that they have of it on how it ends. Yeah.
Oh, I just saw it in Philly. I thought there was one too where you can pretty much just have like a paint fight.
That I'm not sure about.
I don't doubt
By the way, here's a text from somebody that says Concourse Bar in the city has a ball pit for adults.
So you get drunk and then go?
Yeah.
Have you done it?
Yes. They do clean it. I've seen them clean it.
Yeah.
They take all of the balls out and run them through a conveyor belt.
I think you'd need to do that because I don't think there's a whole bunch of disease that would be in that mess.
It's right on Market Street, right near Suburban Station.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. I also saw a video over the weekend where they were cleaning out a foam pit and a rat jumped out.
Wow. Rats like to have fun too.
Where was this?
I don't know. It was
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure it wasn't the place we were talking about.
No,
it's a place called the Rat Pit.
just someplace on Instagram.
That'd be perfect.
Fill up a pit with rats.
That's a good name for a bar. Anyway,
The Rat
why not?
Pit, yeah.
Hang on. We have, who is this next? I don't have. Oh, it's Tater. Yo, Tater. How you doing, man? Tater Tot Kitty. YouTuber joining us this morning. Okay, so you were telling us about a kids' party?
Yes.
Okay, so do tell.
We'll go ahead.
Fill us in as you float above the Golden Gate Bridge. It's your image in the background.
So probably in about 92, when I was 5, I went to a place called Sahara Sam's.
Okay.
It's basically was an indoor amusement park.
Mm-hmm.
Was there stripping?
It had a ball pit. It had a swing ride where it would spin around.
Okay.
And a ball pit, all kinds of crazy things. I just remember, like I said, my 5th birthday party, all my friends were there. It was probably one of my best favorite parties.
Oh, the way you were saying it, I
Skating
thought
park,
something
that was
malevolent was going to happen. Like you almost like nostalgically, but I'm like, you had a tone to you, like with them. One of the kids cut the other kid's head off. But that didn't happen. So you're saying this was a wonderful birthday experience.
Yeah, sorry.
So-
I'm in the office, so I was just trying not to.
Oh, I
be
see.
really loud and
Okay,
excited.
we're thrown off by your background. Yeah, so that was, listen, would you go to an adult version of that if you know?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. So apparently there's a great rat pit in the city if you go to into the bar for what we
Go to the right place.
Go to
No,
the right
Marisa
place.
didn't know where it was.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Tater Tot,
Oh,
we love
I
you.
don't think this is open anymore.
Oh,
okay.
This is a long
Let's see,
time
that sucks.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I'm sad.
Kids
All right,
are on their,
we'll talk to
their,
you.
their computers and their phones and they're all the stuff we used to do.
What was
I never did because I predated it.
Preston, you ever do like a Kalahari or Great Wolf Lodge for kids' birthdays?
You're a Great Wolf.
Well, we were Great Wolf veterans. We went there many, many times. That was, oh my gosh, so much fun.
And
They
you said,
updated it there recently.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
they had a massive commercial campaign for it because they did a whole. I think they did. There's a couple locations, are there not?
Oh, there's several. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a bunch around the country. But did you do birthdays or was it just like family getaways?
We did, yeah, we did do birthdays,
Okay.
and he got a special plush hat that looked like a birthday cake with candles on the top of it. That was pretty cool.
And if you don't mind
We
my
still have
asking, how much did that cost?
Way expensive, man. I mean, that was the thing about about going to Great Wolf Lodge is it ain't cheap, but everything's covered, and the food is all part of it, and so you have that.
You said the hat, and it unlocked a memory of I was actually in Baltimore, and we had some friends, and we went to Dick's for my birthday, and they make the hat, and they write something vulgar on it. But I was only 12 or 14 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we went to that place too in Inner Harbor in Baltimore.
Yep.
Yeah, and I remember
so
that.
You're
That was
12
kind
or
of fun.
14 and they write expletives on your hat?
They try to keep it a little.
Yeah, they kept it a little
90s.
PC. but-
Vagina.
Hang on, I'm going to go to another Zoomer. We have Roy who's joining us. Roy, morning, bud.
Yo.
What's up, man?
How's it going?
Good, man.
We had a place called Exhilarama. It was inside the Echelon Mall in Voorhees. It had an indoor roller coaster, laser tag, movie theater. In 99, it closed in 2005. In 99, I saw at a birthday party, and we saw one of the Star Wars that came out back then.
Exhilarama. That sounds pretty cool. So it had an indoor roller coaster?
Indoor roller. It had two loops. I know you can see me, but the radios came. It went in a circle, up and down. That's it.
Oh, that's still, man, when you're a kid. So what was the age range? You were like 9, 10?
Yeah, at 7th grade, you're getting too old because you're worried about other stuff around.
Getting your ass
at
kicked.
that point.
So Dave and Buster's is more for adults, right? I mean, that's
Yeah. I mean, it's kids, but adults can absolutely have a blast there, especially after they kick all the kids out of there. Who's your bald buddy there? What's going on?
TJ, his nickname is 2848 because he's 28 years old, but he looks 40.
That is one of my all-time favorite nicknames
28,
ever.
48.
Oh my God.
Yeah, with the hat on, he's 28. Take the hat off, 48.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
Is that real the way your hair is?
I lost it a long time ago.
You need a shirt that says 2848.
Every year his nickname changes, though.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's phenomenal.
2646.
Oh my God.
Well, you got a good sense of humor, man.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you listening, man.
Take care.
2848.
Oh my God.
I really enjoy the fact that they pointed it out too.
Yes.
That was terrific.
He needs to shave the rest of it.
If he did, he'd look perpetually 20. He'd
Listen,
look younger, yeah.
We were having dinner this weekend. Really nice restaurant, by the way. And I looked over in the corner, and there was a guy who was trying to pull off hair-wise the Larry Fine thing.
Like as a statement?
From Three Stooges.
Wow.
So he's got the clear male pattern baldness, but he did not let go of letting the rest of it go big and bushy. And I'm like, man, there's only one human being that has ever pulled that off, and that's Larry Fine of Three Stooges.
That's it.
I really wanted to go over and say
Don't
something.
even try. Yeah, numbskull.
Just go ahead and just shave it off or go way, way down, but you're doing the wrong thing.
Should have gone over and double eye poked him.
Hey, numbskull. That would have been great. Wow. All right. Well, anyhow, thank you for the check-ins there, gang, and letting us know. Because listen, if you have the right party when you're a kid, it can be legendary. And the idea of having your own food fight party,
I love that.
And here's what you do because technically it is wasting food. You make a donation to Phil Abundance or something like that. After you do that,
Just clean up that food and make a donation.
and make a donation when you're done. But I think that's a brilliant idea.
No, that is
Absolutely.
terrific. I love it.
But this was sad news to see over the weekend. Freddie Hill Farms and Freddie's Family Fun Center are closing at the end of the 2025 season. So that's the miniature golf courses, the driving range, batting cages.
I might have to get over there and just see what it's like since I've heard about it all these years.
The ice cream and everything. Yeah, it's a cool place. So that's sad news. But Nick, you said they're holding out hope that maybe somebody will pick it up.
I hope so, yeah. And
we'll see.
I guess the residents in that area, there's a petition online, so you can do a Google search for North Penn and Freddie Hill Farms.
How about this? Because we have a rock element, Freddie Mercury Farms.
Freddie Mercury Farms.
You're going to have a great time.
I love it. All right, well, let's take a quick break, come back in a second, and we'll share some more Bizarre File stories. We also have some other things, listen, question, trash, music, news stuff coming up, too. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
Brothers, maybe we call those guys out because they love the boxing and the MMA and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And, let's see him get in the ring with you.
Jake Paul and Logan Paul?
Yeah.
We had Logan Paul at WrestleMania this year.
He actually, and the reaction was pretty good. From what and you can, dismiss this as BS if it's not the case, but they talked to some of the wrestlers and they said they gave him props.
Yeah. I'd like to see a tag team Tag team match.
I mean, I think there's potential in your storyline idea. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I will say that celebrities coming in, it's always like it's a good way to cross over and bring new audiences. We had Bad this year.
Oh my God,
he's like one of the biggest artists.
Well, what about Dua Lipa? I think maybe if you bring her in.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can,
she's
you want to make it happen. We can.
Oh, he's got a lot of
Give me some
ideas.
phone numbers.
Like a plot line that mimics Steel Magnolias would be really good.
Right. Exactly.
That was not my idea.
No.
Terrible.
Now, I also read your younger brother had wrestled as well.
Yeah. So we did it together. We trained together. And
he didn't make the cut though, or did he not want to try for
no.
the big show?
He was, I guess he didn't really get to the WWE level, but in the independent career, a very successful independent wrestling career.
What do you think, like the big leagues in any major sports? So to become the amount of people that play football and the amount of people that make it to the NFL is minuscule. It's microscopic. What about wrestling? Because there are so many independent wrestling groups out there.
So I would say, from training, from people who start training, I'd say it's about 1 in 10 who continue on just to wrestle in general. And then on the independents, now there's more jobs than ever in wrestling with, AEW starting up on TNT, WWE just expanding.
Yeah.
And then some other promotions, being able to actually, offer decent wages for people now. So it's better now than it's ever been, but I'd still say it's about 1 in maybe 100 to try to go on to really maybe even 1,000 depending on how many people there are. Yeah, it's a pretty small amount.
Do you remember your first match in the big league?
Oh, in WWE. Yeah. I was a part of the Cruiserweight Classic when they came in. It's all timing. Like if anyone's listening out there as an independent wrestler, it's all timing. Just keep working.
Yeah.
So for me, I had a tryout with them in 2015. I did not get hired from the tryout. They could only take one person from my group out of 72 people.
Wow.
There was maybe 5 or 6 wrestlers who were experienced. The rest were all pro athletes. They could only hire one of us. So the rest of us were all told, maybe something in the future, guys. You did great, thanks. So I was just like, okay, just be patient. And then a year later, they started this thing called the Cruiserweight Classic, which they wanted to honor the athleticism and the history of smaller wrestlers, being more competitive. And they created this tournament, and they needed, as William Regal told me, they needed groundsmen, and I was a prominent groundsman.
Right.
So they brought me in for that. I did pretty well, made it to the second round, had a good showing. Then they took that show and they took our division and made it a featured attraction on Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
So before I was ever offered a WWE contract, I was wrestling on Monday Night Raw and their local their pay-per-views, their monthly pay-per-views. And so I would go from my independent wrestling show
to Raw
to the pay-per-view show and then
Wow.
drive to Raw the overnight and do the Cruiserweight division. And then later on in the year, I was able to earn a full-time contract. They started up 205 Live, which is still going on today. And that was their first experimental streaming show that they created based on the Cruiserweight division. So I got in at a very cool, where technology meets sling, and everything grows. It's very historic. Very lucky.
Let me ask you. So we know Vince McMahon is the muckety muck, but I mean, there's now so many to this world. Is there a second person who's who he can delegate to, who's the overseer of all this? Because it seems like it's just too damn much for Vince to be, checking everything all the time.
So that's the one thing that I don't think you ever say to him is that something's too much for him.
Right.
Yeah, so he's very much still at all the shows and running the show, sitting backstage and doing that. And then NXT, which was originally developmental brand and has now become the third brand for WWE. They have a show on USA. That's run by Triple H.
Okay.
And he's kind of doing what Vince did there with that show.
All right, so how many nights of programming is there a week with WWE? And all the
across
central,
everything. I would say 6 or 7 right now, per week.
And they're in all
let's list them. So we got Raw, that's on USA Network. We got NXT, which is on USA Network. We got SmackDown, which is on Fox. Then secondary shows we have NXT UK, which is in the UK, and that's now on Peacock. 205 Live, which is on Peacock, and then we have W's Main Event, which is like a pseudo recap show, and then some exclusive matches. I'm featured on there quite a bit.
Right.
That'll be on Hulu.
And then
I think that's
pay-per-views once a month.
And then pay-per-views once a month. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a
machine.
That's a ton of entertainment, man.
Yeah,
That's a ton of stuff.
Plus NXT has their own pay-per-views too, so those are happening I think 6 times a year.
And they're in different cities every like
They will be going forward. Yeah.
Oh man,
just talking about all this has made me hungry.
Yeah.
Well, we got to get to that, Preston.
We have to.
That's why this man is here.
Marisa is now going to bring in my edible charcuterie board that drew the attention of Drew Gulak, and we are now going to sample this. Here it is. I don't have any fanfare music or anything like that, but
all right, Case.
Oh, you know what?
Here we go.
Marisa, can I get a knife to cut the brie, please?
Yes, to cut the brie. That's probably something you hear a lot in wrestling.
Is for cutting this. So I'm going to let Drew sample this. And actually, you're supposed to just kind of like grab it and tear it. Okay. Now, keep in mind, I put this in the fridge overnight. It probably would be better if it were fresh.
Fresh off the grill.
Yeah, fresh off the grill, exactly. So,
Drew, that can be your catchphrase, your new catchphrase and phrase. Somebody get me a knife so I can cut the brie.
Cut the brie.
No, but I do like fresh off the grill.
I like fresh off the grill.
Fresh off the grill.
Fresh off the grill, brother.
We can start a restaurant.
I added a little Hulk in there, but
this bread has all sorts of little cheeses in it.
And what did I call the honey divot?
Where's the honey divot?
Charcuterie. All right, so I'm gonna.
He has to have the first taste.
A little corner, you can grab some cheese or meat, and this is honey that you can dip it in.
Is that the honey divot?
I think Casey said he wanted to feed me.
I did.
All right. Well, maybe that happens.
Not the first bite, though.
No, he has to. A man has to share alone time with his
I don't
bread
want to.
charcuterie.
All right, so what do you recommend?
Distracted. I would go with the piece of bread, a piece of brie, just to start with, and dip it in the honey. So
You grilled this.
Yeah, I grilled it.
That's amazing.
So grab a little piece of brie there. You can tear off some of that if you want
Get
to.
In there.
And then
you said some honey?
Yeah, dip it in a little bit of honey there.
Okay, while he's doing this, it's. You know when someone reminds you of somebody but you can't figure out who it is? It's another athlete.
Dornbos.
Okay, is that it?
Yeah. He reminds you of Dornbos?
Yes, it's the way he speaks.
Okay, he's got a bite. Is it a little crunchy? Or yeah, because you got a corner piece. So.
You picked the crunchiest part.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Oh, that's good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Hey!
So we have breakfast at Champions right now.
Now Casey's going to, I think he's going to feed Drew a piece of it. Yeah, because they went on social media about this.
Okay.
Casey had said he would like to feed him a piece.
Maybe a little less crunchy.
Something that won't blow his teeth out of his skull.
The corner's very crunchy. I apologize.
No, it's good, man.
It went a little long. Good.
You know, Casey gave an enema to Ric Flair once, so this is
That's where the woo came from.
That's where the woo came from.
You created the woo!
Man. All right, so you want some meat?
Yeah, give me some savory.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
that
from
the woo came
enema
from
for
that.
Casey.
Yeah, a little prosciutto.
Yeah.
I would recommend this cheese right there. That's called Prima Donna. It is a Gouda. It is fantastic.
Okay, Prima Donna.
And you can either go with the honey or not. It's up to you. So
good.
All right, Case, make this matter.
That's a big piece.
He's
he's a big man.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Buddy.
All right, he is
No,
now-
Case, do the plane.
Yeah.
Do the plane.
Can I get an airplane?
Who's a big boy?
From the top row, from the top turnbuckle.
From the top turnbuckle, all the way into Drew's
That's a
mouth.
first.
So yeah.
So this thing is so it looks so good. I got to try some.
When we get into the break, you guys can have at it. I made it for here. We can. The staff can help themselves.
Drew, how's your barbecuing and cooking?
Give him a minute.
Is this something you think you could tackle?
We need some water.
Yeah.
buddy.
No, that's good. So Yeah, grilling. I know nothing about it.
Okay.
But so I just bought my first house. And, thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, where's home for you, by the way, now?
So right now I'm in Orlando, but I
Okay.
come up to Philly as much as I can.
On the auto train.
Yeah, I just take the auto train up there, on the gyrocopter.
Right. The Vince McMahon gyrocopter.
the Gulak copter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Orlando.
Yeah, so you just got a house. That's cool.
Yeah, we just got a house down
Nice.
there. Mhm.
And are you married?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, my wife Liz.
Any kids or
no kids?
All right.
Do you ever see an alligator in the wild?
Casey is obsessed with actually seeing an alligator, not at Gatorland.
But
yeah, dude,
out and about.
So the only thing we wanted to do since moving down there is like, where are the alligators? See 'em? The only time I've seen one, we visited Kennedy Space Center, and they're just on the side of the road.
Oh,
You spend enough time, you will see your share of gators, and they also have what the
Thanks, Kat. We made an announcement earlier this morning. Just a heads up, there is a fresh video from Cardboard Classic 2025, and it was courtesy of our friends at Camelot Productions. The drone activity was fast and furious at Cardboard Classic with Camelot on site, and now we can see the fruit of their wares because they edited together this video that really gives you a feel for how that day rolls out, and they took us to some unprecedented views with their technology, and their editing is amazing. And if you were there and you want to see maybe you in action, you can check out this video. Or if you haven't been, you just want to get a feel for what the event is all about. There's no better coverage I've ever seen of this.
No,
So,
it's amazing.
yeah, Camelot Productions. It is now on our Instagram page. Just check out the Preston and Steve Show on Instagram and follow along because it's awesome stuff, man. We love what they do. Camelot Productions, spelled with a K, by the way, Kamelot. So thank you guys for doing that. It looks phenomenal. Let's get to Bizarre File.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Pro Team Collision. If you find yourself in an accident, trust the pros at Pro Team Collision, your trusted auto body repair shop located in King of Prussia. And you can go to proteamcollision.com. So I've never heard of this before, but a woman has told how she was left in the hospital unable to breathe after suffering a severe reaction to an unlicensed nasal tanning spray that she bought online.
A nasal tanning spray. We believe that this is to tan your nostrils?
No. This is to tan your body, but you shove this up your nose. So I had never heard of this. I'm glad that you
seems
guys
absurd.
are just in the dark as I am. Edith Eagle said that she felt like she was suffocating and drowning inside her own body.
Oh my God. She had allergic reaction
After
to
the
it.
allergic collapse that she believes was linked to the product. So nasal tanners are designed to be sprayed into the nostrils and claimed to work by administering a substance known as melatonin 2, a chemical that darkens skin pigmentation. It is illegal to sell. This took place in England, by the way. It's illegal to sell medicinal products containing melatonin 2 in the UK. But as the tanners are sold cosmetically, they fall outside of that remit. However, they are not covered by UK cosmetics regulations, meaning that they are not subjected to the same scrutiny as other over-the-counter beauty products. Experts have said that they have not been fully researched and could contain toxic ingredients. Ms. Eagle said she purchased tanners online believing that they would give her a quick and easy bronze look ahead of a planned holiday. They had been recommended to her by someone she knew, but she said that she did not realize that they were unlicensed and unregulated. The 47-year-old inhaled the spray twice a day, believing it would give her tan time to build up before she said we actually got into the sunshine. But on the second day of the trip, she was rushed to the hospital after an apparent allergic reaction. She said, I literally couldn't breathe.
Man.
All I wanted to do, all that went through my mind was, will I even get to the hospital because I could not breathe at all. And I can't explain it, but I was suffocating inside as if it was drowning with my own body.
It sounds unpleasant.
She became suspicious after her stepdaughter, who also used a tanner, spotted a Facebook post from someone who said that they had also suffered a bad reaction. She told her hospital consultant, who asked where she bought the tanner and what was in it, and they couldn't see on the label, so there was very little that they could do. So they just essentially sent her back to the hotel, and eventually she felt a little bit better. But the experts are saying, don't do this.
It seems impossible that could ever work.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's available in the United States. You can
Oh,
get it on
is it?
There you
Amazon.
go.
What's it called?
It's a tanning nasal spray.
Tanning nasal.
You could actually just take the vitamin. You can take the melatonin yourself.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bronze in minutes. The ashy chocolate color.
I don't believe that, but I know people will take the pills. I'd rather if you're going to do that. It all seems pretty dumb.
Are you self tanning before we go to Florida?
Yes, I have to make my appointments.
Okay, you do the old
spray tan.
Spray tan.
I have learned, so you guys don't make fun of me. I don't spray my face.
Okay.
You can spray your face. They're just spraying you too dark.
Well, no, it's because I don't shower until like right before.
Well, you shower the next day. Get it sprayed.
Is that the unevenness? Is that what? Yeah.
I shower. I get it done
Okay.
on like the
That's
night
why you look like a
before, and then I
barcode?
come in. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
They're like, look, Marissa's leaking.
Are you getting one, Kathy?
You know what? I love they're like wipes, and you just
The
wipe
tan
on.
towels?
Yeah, the tan towels. That's what they are. Yeah, so I'll just do that.
Tan towels.
Yeah.
Well,
Can you
wipe
use
on
that
a
on your
color?
butt?
Yeah, like it's the self tanner. It just comes in a wipe form, and so
Okay.
I don't go I don't want to get my whole body sprayed, just to do like a little bit, so I'm not
Okay.
super white.
All right.
Interesting.
Well, moving on, a 100-year-old Japanese woman has been recognized by Guinness World Records as the oldest female barber in the world.
Oh wow!
Could
you stop shaking, Granny?
Hakoshi Shitsui was presented with a certificate showing that she's 108 years old and 108 years and 115
Jeez.
days old. Her shops, regular customers, and other locals gathered to celebrate with flowers and a cake. She was born in Nakagawa in 1916. After obtaining a barber's license in Tokyo, she opened a salon with her husband in the capital, but her husband died during World War II, and she also lost their store. Hakoshi had opened a salon in Nakagawa after the war ended, and she still continues to oblige when regular customers and others ask her to cut their hair.
And now I'll give you a shave with a straight razor.
In 2021,
Oh, it's okay.
when she was 104, she took part in the torch relay for the Tokyo Olympics.
We're looking at her. She does not look that age.
Not even close, man. So Hakoshi says that she's happy. She notes that help from the people around her has enabled her to continue working for so long. And the barber also says that she will keep on offering her services as long as there are customers.
It's pretty amazing.
Authorities are searching for the alleged arsonist who caught fire while he was setting a car ablaze in Corona, all of which was captured on camera on Tuesday.
Where'd you say?
In Corona.
Oh, I thought you said Verona, Mike.
No, not where Casey is. The video shows an unidentified man standing next to a black sedan via a Holmes Ring surveillance camera before flames suddenly erupt from his hand, quickly turning into a large explosion. When the initial intensity of the explosion subsides, the man can be seen as he hurtles over the property's fence and runs down the street, all while on fire. The fire destroyed the car and caused damage to a nearby home. We're looking at video footage. Yeah, it's definitely a big explosion.
I'm not good at this.
Investigators have identified the suspect as a man who stands about 5'9" and between 5'9" and 6'1" with a medium build and shoulder length, light colored hair. So they are looking for him. All right, and then one last story, and then we will wrap up with this. Police and firefighters rescued a man precariously stuck in the mud near Roosevelt Island. Initials report suggested the man in his 70s became stuck in the mud while trying to retrieve a walking stick between the Mount Vernon Trail and the Potomac River. Per scanner traffic, he sank in the mud until, listen to this, Steve, he was nearly neck deep.
Oh, my God, like
in
quicksand.
mud,
Yeah.
like quicksand, prompting a large rescue response.
Well, this didn't work out. I probably could have just bought another cane.
U.S. Park Police.
I tell you what, don't dig me out. Just keep kicking me in the face until I'm dead.
And firefighters all rushed to the scene. It was reported the man was safely on the shore.
Right?
There's just a head sticking up out of the ground.
The hell, I just got stuck in the mud.
The man was not injured, but he was stuck all the way up to his neck in mud.
There was on the trip from Anchorage to Seward when we took an Alaskan cruise. We went through this area that was known for it's low tide.
I remember
area.
you telling me this, yeah.
And people die every year because they go out and they'll step and they'll take the next step and it sucks them down further. And takes them, and before you know it, the water comes in and they're dead.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, and there you go. That's what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. One more break to take before we ask a lesson question about today's show, and we will test your knowledge. And we got some tickets to see Joe Coy and Friends for the correct answer for that. We'll get trash and music news, too, so stay with us. We'll be right back. I saw one at the airport. I mean, they actually have these ponds out there, and I've seen them out sunning themselves.
My wife
says
didn't believe me.
Count.
It doesn't count. It doesn't count. I want to see a giant one on the side of a. So we went to Rocco's Tacos one time, and there's like a giant lake behind there. And I went out, and it was at night. And my friend was saying, usually you can see their eyes like glistening in the night and stuff. I couldn't even see that. It was cold though. It was a little cold.
Yeah, it was a little chilly.
All right. So we have to get the rating 1 to 10 on the charcuterie baked board. What are you giving it?
It's a 15.
A 15!
All right, excellent.
Somebody get me a knife so I can cut the brie.
Well, listen, Drew, this is awesome to meet you in person.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you for having me.
And you're back in town from time to time, so we'll find a reason to hook up again, I'm sure.
Please, anytime. This was great.
And especially if...
do you all still say, hey, bitches?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
All right, cool.
Hey, if you want to, go ahead, say it.
Hey, bitches.
Hey, what?
And maybe if, maybe Monday Night Raw, you'll be back at home performing.
Philadelphia hasn't been announced yet for a tour, but I'm sure it'll be announced sometime in the near future.
That's awesome.
Usually once a year.
Yeah,
we
once or
get
twice.
it. So, yeah, excellent. Awesome. Well, listen, thanks so much for coming by, man. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you guys so much. This was awesome.
Let's hear it for Drew Goulet, guys. WWE wrestler, fan of the Preston and Steve Show, and a Philly hometown guy. Love it. Foods is now bringing more to the table. This time it's plant-based chicken nuggets.
I've had them.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you have? Because so have I, and they were the most disgusting things I've ever eaten in my life.
Well, then I've had different. So Hip City Veg has the best chicken nuggets I've ever tasted, and there's no chicken.
Okay, so this was sort of like, it looked like it was dark meat, but it wasn't meat. It was plant-based, and it had like a breading around it. It looked really good, and I was like, oh, I'll try this.
Right. Not good.
I was like, what is this? What is this texture? What am I eating?
So they use
plant or
seitan.
not?
I guess it is seitan, right? The often used for chicken substitute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and the Satan actually cooks them.
Wait till you try this.
But they're Casey. They're excellent. We actually put them out at a party.
Yeah.
And people had no idea.
So we have a vegetarian living in my house. My oldest is now a vegetarian, more pescatarian, but we have a lot of Impossible meat in our house now.
Right.
And we do the Impossible ground beef a lot, and it's damn good.
I love it.
Yeah, my wife will make.
And Preston's right in the. It's not exactly. But the taste I like.
Yeah,
I like
good.
the Impossible taste.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily taste exactly like beef or pork or whatever it is they're trying to simulate, but whatever it tastes like tastes good to me.
Yeah, when you're making things like nachos, like my wife will make nachos for the household, and she'll crumple up the Impossible burger meat or whatever on there. You can't tell the difference.
Dude,
not when it's got the cheese and the salsa and everything else with it.
I'm telling you, that Impossible cheesesteak from Wilson's,
unbelievable,
was fantastic.
Unbelievable.
I couldn't stop eating it. It was excellent.
Get me the biggest cheesesteak fan in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Sit them down and give them one of those.
and don't say, all right, tell me if this tastes like meat.
Right.
Just say, eat this, and does it taste good?
Yeah.
That's the difference. So somebody who is a hard meat eater might say this ain't no meat or whatever. No, just set that aside. Does it taste good or not? Okay, and because that cheesesteak at Wilson's Secret Sauce is fantastic.
And what was the ingredient?
Loved it.
Was it seitan?
No,
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't
think
know.
he uses Beyond or Impossible.
I'm not sure exactly what he uses.
I think it's Impossible.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at what I had, and this restaurant changed, right? It was one healthier restaurant to the next, and they had chicken on it, and so they were called chicken. They were called chicken strips. Well, now they're just called strips, and so I ordered that thinking I was getting the chicken, and then realized, but it says plant-based, so it's a plant-based strip. It doesn't say exactly what's in it, but I'm assuming it's similar to what you're talking about.
Plant-based strips, Mommy.
So Impossible Foods is describing this as having a golden, crispy breadcrumb. Oh my God! I can't believe I said that.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I'm interested in your chicken strips.
Stop it.
What's that special ingredient again?
It's a little salty.
Bread cum.
Do you guys buy that? Because I just made some.
It's great.
Here's audio of the chef, Preston.
You're gonna be my regular thing, baby.
Wait.
Oh yeah.
I think I like your reaction more than the actual flub itself. You're like, I just can't believe you just said that.
All right, having golden, crispy bread crumb coating.
You're working in the kitchen today. Where's something low cut?
And a juicy and springy white meat texture. How was your weekend, Jackie Bam Bam?
Oh, good. How was yours, Press?
Very relaxing.
Right.
How about you? Did you relax?
I heard you tried on some jeans. I was getting worried about my leather pants and my roostered hair for the MMRBQ, more importantly.
Do you ever wear shorts?
Nah, but I do shave my legs if you need to know.
Okay.
But wait,
No doubt. No doubt.
Why? Why do you shave your legs if you're not wearing shorts?
No offense to Steve, but I think the hair should be on the head, nowhere else.
Okay.
You know.
So you shave everywhere?
Everywhere, yeah.
Really? Armpits?
I've been trying to do a contest or a little promo with Casey Boy, but it's just not happening. Sales department. I want to shave Casey Boy.
I don't want to do that.
Why?
Because I don't want to
You
do
should
that.
come get laser hair with me.
Oh, you get your bead
Remove it
lasered.
permanently?
Yeah.
I follow you on social media. I'm like, where did she get this done at? I could do that.
Oh, come with me.
I will.
All right.
Do you shave your armpits?
Cut that out, what she just said, Casey.
Do you shave your armpits?
I do, yes. You want to take a look? Yeah.
Yeah, they're short.
All right,
Yeah,
there you
sure
go.
enough.
Very nice.
Okay, he's a shaver.
Ah.
He's
Your ass crack?
He's an O'Hare guy. You're one more step closer to Romano, man.
Yeah, Romano.
We have that in common. Wow. Okay, so this is interesting. Chrissy Teigen has admitted, listen to this,
Her again.
she underwent a cosmetic surgical procedure to have fat removed from her cheeks.
Okay.
Per a recent Instagram story she shared.
Isn't that kind of her look? She has.
She does have
she's
kind
a very
of roundish cheeks. Yeah.
clearly a beautiful woman.
She wrote, I did that Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal thing here, she said.
The Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal?
I guess so, yeah. Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal. She added.
I can't say
Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal.
That's amazing. I can't do that.
Dr.
Diamond buccal fat removal. Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal. Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal. There you go.
That's pretty good.
Thank you, sir.
Now do it backwards.
I can't do that. Fat buccal diamond doctor.
Wow.
Well, I left out removal fat.
Oh, way to
All
go.
right, removal fat buccal diamond doctor. I'm reading it. I can see it written here. So
Still good.
Still pretty good.
removal fat buccal diamond doctor.
I will say this after Dr. Buchal's fat removal, that she looks different.
Yes.
Well, it's sort of that what we were talking about. Who was it yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
It was Tori Spelling.
Tori Spelling. It's
Terrence and Phillip.
Yes, it gives that Terrence and Phillip look.
If you do too much, it looks like she got not like almost too much. It's,
Right.
You know, she's
Not as
flirting
much
with
as
it.
Tori.
With Dr. Buchal's fat removal?
Wait, what's buccal? Because his name's Diamond. What's the buccal?
Dr. Diamond buccal fat
I assume the buccal is the kind
Procedure?
of fat.
Oh.
It is, or the buccal fat removal.
So it's Dr. Diamond buchal's fat removal.
Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal.
Okay, it's not plural.
Maybe someday they'll have a Dr. Diamond buccal fat replacement.
Yes, and fill those cheeks back up again.
Exactly. Theater royalty in the form of Kristen Chenoweth, Julie Taymor, and Lin-Manuel Miranda welcomed back boisterous audiences to Wicked, The Lion King, and Hamilton for the first time since the start of the pandemic, making Tuesday as the unofficial return of Broadway. Chenoweth surprised the crowd at Wicked by appearing on stage for a speech at the same stage where she became a star years ago, and she said the line, "There's no place like home."
Right.
Coming back there, and the crowd hooted and hollered and gave her a standing ovation. You could hear him hoot.
It's not a hoot.
Several hoots and a couple of hollers. That'd be kind of scary.
It would be terrifying.
Yeah.
I think that the actors would walk off the stage.
Taymor, the director and costume designer for The Lion King, congratulated her audience for the courage and enthusiasm to lead the way. She said, "Theater as we know it is the lifeblood and soul of the city. It's time for us to live again." And Miranda at Hamilton summed up the feeling of a lot of people when he asked, "I don't ever want to take live theater for granted."
And by the way, I did not write Hamilton. I have to know. Yeah. You know, Preston, I have a love-hate relationship with Broadway, and Because there's wonderful things to see.
Yeah.
But those theaters are designed for people from the 1870s.
Yeah, they're tiny.
And unless you're a dwarf.
But it is super exciting going
It is
to one of those
amazing.
shows.
It is amazing.
It is also super expensive to go.
Oh, my
to
God.
one of
Only
those
$200 or
shows.
$300.
It's
That's it.
insane.
Yeah.
The first time I went to Broadway, I'd gotten comp tickets, okay, because of my job. I was a music director, and it was for Rent, and Rent had a soundtrack and all this stuff. And so the record company got us tickets. I'm like, wow, man, that was a great time. We enjoyed the hell of the show. It was amazing. And I'm like, we should go back and see that again sometime. And then we went to go back and see it, and we paid for tickets. I'm like, oh my God.
They offer packages though that are actually really good deals with that comes
On 93.3 WMMR, the best of you. It's Preston and Steve. It's 15 minutes after 10, and it is also a Monday morning, and an interesting week we have ahead of us as we'll head on the road after our program on Wednesday. Head to the airport, get in the sky, land in FLA, and then, I guess it's just FL now. It's not FLA anymore. I'll always call it FLA.
Yeah.
But we will be broadcasting live Thursday morning from the ballpark in Clearwater as we get ready for the Phils and the game that day. And we'll have members of the team on the program and everything. The next day, Friday, we're broadcasting live from Coco's Crush Bar.
There's a good chance we'll be seeing a lot of you down there.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's unbelievable how it becomes Philly South.
Yep. And we want to thank Philly Sports Trips for bringing a bunch of really fun people along for the whole thing, and can't wait to interact with them. I'm going to spend a little more time, I think, around the Scientology campus this time around.
See if we can get in.
See if I can get to know a few people while I'm there and see what it's all about.
You got a quick audit?
What's that, Steve? I'm sorry.
Grab a quick audit, Nick. While you're over here.
For sure. You can play the game with Brazier where you drive back from the ballpark to Clearwater Beach, because the ballpark's in Clearwater and where we stay is in Clearwater Beach, and you can do an over-under as to how many you'll see. It's a fun game.
Okay.
You know what's wild, though? When the lights go down in the city, the Scientology Center is all that much darker because there's everything is, the lights all blacked out. You don't see...
Oh, the inside of it, you mean? Yeah, you can't see in the windows. But I wonder if they light the outside of it up.
It's lit up.
Make it look beautiful.
It just looks ominous.
Okay. We're going to ask today's lesson question, and we are going to give away a pair of tickets to see Joe Coy and Friends Saturday, October 18th at the... the Ocean Casino Resort. Tickets will go on sale this Friday, by the way. So the question that I'll pose you is this. What's the name of the bar where the rats get into the ball pit? 215-263-WMMR. Steve gave it a name. We don't know what the real name of it is, but if you heard, then you should know. What is the name of the bar where the rats get into the ball pit? Now, you need to Zoom in order to give us the correct answer. And how do you do that? You text the word Zoom to 39333. We'll send you a quick and easy link for you to click on, and then you will join us, hopefully, with the correct answer to that. What is the name of the bar where the rats get into the ball pit? All right, send that over now.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Family Jewelers. Planning on getting engaged? Go see Angelo and the team at Family and Company Jewelers, and you can get her the perfect engagement ring, a ring from Family and Company, South Jersey's diamond destination. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, as you said earlier, Preston, John Goodman sustained a fairly significant hip injury while working on a movie at Pinewood Studios. Ironically, the attending doctor said Goodman probably would not have been injured at all if only he had been much fatter and out of shape. That's gotta hurt. Reality star Jessa Duggar announcing she has a sixth child on the way. Duggar admits the wear and tear on her body has been a lot, revealing that she recently found a Mexican drug cartel hiding in her vagina.
Oh,
hey! It's gotten a little bigger. And finally, you mentioned this as well, Preston. Young Sheldon star Emily Osment splitting from her husband of just 5 months. Osment had to admit it actually took more time to put on her wedding gown.
Oh, wow.
And naturally.
All righty, we will attempt to get an answer, and we got nothing.
We got nothing.
So Sam is telling me we got nothing.
That's the beauty of Zoom.
Nobody knows. All right, I'll ask it again, and then we'll get into music news. It's it's a whole new approach for us here.
A whole new world
with the Zoom system. What is the name of the bar where rats get into the ball pit? Let's see if you remember that, and text the word Zoom to 39333 if you happen to know, and maybe we'll get you on. All right. In the meantime, we are going to get into music news.
Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
I can handle things. I'm smart.
Brought to you by United Tire and Service. You can check out special offers at UnitedTire.com. Don't drive alone. Drive United. We'll start with the follow-up story. So a woman by the name of Kimberly Birch, fiance of Faster Pussycat singer Tie Me Down, was presumed to have died last week, after she went overboard while on a Royal Caribbean cruise. We had told you this, and it was unclear at the time how she went overboard. And sources now have told The Hollywood Reporter that a video appears to show that Birch jumped off.
Yes, yeah.
And on top of that, former host of MTV's Headbangers Ball, Ricky Rackman, has shared on social media that he's been in touch with Down and that, quote, there's a video of her committing suicide and Timey was cleared of all charges. Yeah,
Did you hear anything relaying to a story that there had been some fighting between the two before that?
This is all that I heard.
Okay,
No,
yeah.
Did you read something?
Yeah, that there were sounds that were heard, nothing verified. But man, that's horrible. Now, surprisingly though, the articles came. Well, not surprising, I should say. How many people actually do die during a calendar year of cruises? People fall over all the time.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does happen. So we'll see if there are any follow-ups to that. Brent Hines, co-founding guitarist and vocalist of Mastodon, has left the band after 25 years in the group. The band announced the mutual decision to part ways on their social media channels, expressing pride in their shared history and wishing Hines success in his future endeavors.
I'm surprised how well you're processing this, Kathy, because I know Mastodon's one of your favorites.
Mastodon assures fans that all 2025 tour plans will proceed as scheduled despite Hines' departure, but there's been no word on if he will be replaced or if the group will continue as a trio. Hines co-founded Mastodon in 2000 alongside bassist Troy Sanders, drummer Brian Daler, and guitarist Bill Killeher, releasing their debut album Remission in 2002. So long end of an era there for him. And then let me see. Yeah, two more quick stories. Police in Pennsylvania are investigating the theft of music equipment that caused the Spin Doctors to lose $12,930 worth of gear recently.
That sucks.
Pennsylvania State Police stated that on February 22nd, troopers began investigating the theft of music from a storage unit at DMD Mini Storage in Penn Township, Snyder County. Police say the investigation into the stolen equipment is ongoing. I don't know exactly what was stolen, but they lost some of their gear, unfortunately. All right, and then one last story. It's been a long time coming, but Godsmack's fifth studio album, The Oracle, is set to make its debut on vinyl, and that'll be coming out May 22nd. That's the Godsmack. Yeah. It's the first time that fans can enjoy the album originally released in 2010 on a turntable, with this re-release featuring remastered audio for enhanced sound quality. The album debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 when it was released 15 years ago, and 2 vinyl editions are available. Standard black and a deluxe limited edition gatefold colored vinyl called the Saints and Sinners edition.
Sinner.
And fans can pre-order both vinyl editions through various retailers now. And that's music news.
And that's it.
Look, we have someone on the line who wants to answer our question. We are going to go to, I can barely read your name. Regina, is that your name?
Yep.
Hey, Regina, how you doing?
Hi.
Thanks for coming on this morning. All right, so we had the question, what's the name of the bar where rats get into the ball pit? Do you know?
The Rat Bar?
The rat what?
The Rat Bar?
The Rat Bar. That's not it.
Just a one nuance.
We have others.
We do have others. We're going to have to
We
go to something else.
appreciate it.
I'm sorry,
You're
Regina.
close.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, she is in the ballpark, but that's not quite it. All right, so we'll pull up another listener, and it's we have Casey who's joining us now. Hey, Casey, how you doing, man?
Hey, doing well. How are you?
Good. All right, can you name the name of the bar where the rats got into the ball pit?
The Rat Pit.
The Rat Pit, yes. Regina was so close. But I got to go with the correct answer. So hang on, bud. We are going to give you tickets to see Joe Coy and friends.
How inspiring.
Saturday, October 18th at the Ocean Casino Resort. And tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. You can visit theoceanac.com for complete details.
It would be the theme to the movie Rat Pit.
This would be. All right, we are going to take one more break. When we get back, we'll get the letter of the day for the Word of the Week prize. And we'll see what Pierre's got in store for you as well. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
You can choose from a number of restaurants and things like that. So at least it's
hotels sometimes and an organ transplant.
But just anything in New York.
Anything in New York.
You get a cheese sandwich, and they're like, that'll be $14. You're like, what? It's a cheese sandwich, though.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's right. We're in New York.
One last story. John Mellencamp revealed to the Indianapolis Monthly that in addition to recently recording, he and Bruce Springsteen actually painted together. He said, Bruce and I have done 2 paintings together.
This is my house, and this is the smoke coming out of the chimney, and this is me and my family holding hands, and that's a daisy.
He said, we have a...
That's a turkey. I made it with my hands.
He said, we have a painting that we worked on for 2 days straight.
Yeah.
He said he painted one side, I painted the other.
That's the whole.
And he also said Bruce had never painted at all, and he was really good, really into it.
Have you seen any of
Mellencamp stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good. He's accomplished.
How come
Now,
my turkey looks better?
I don't know if he does realistic stuff or not, but he definitely does some cool
impressionistic.
things. Yeah, it might be considered impressionistic.
Lose excess paint, and it blends all this together.
Yeah, this is it.
There we go. We're painting mountains, as you know. You always want the top of the mountain to be more distinct than the bottom of the mountain, because at the bottom we have mist, and now we have wonderful pollution.
So before I knew that I had ASMR,
right,
and I was a teenager, I would sit there with Bob Ross on, smoke a little herb and just sit there and
Get
just
lost.
absolutely zone out into it and have no idea why I liked him so much.
Did you ever get inspired to attempt to paint along with him?
Oh, God, no.
Okay.
I have no artistic ability whatsoever. I had, at a younger age, I had tried. I had a friend who was a decent artist, and he gave me a canvas, and Steve. It was a house with chimney coming out of it, and Daisy and the family. I mean, it was just terrible. It was horrible.
Curly smoke coming out.
Yeah, just bad. The sun in the corner.
Yeah, with the lines coming out. Yeah.
With the rays
Hey,
coming
son,
out of
you
it.
can't see the whole sun, but just a quarter.
Anyhow, he said he said about Bruce. He said, I was surprised at how hard he tried. He was like, "How do you do this, John? How do you make this
This is
work?"
terrible.
We're trying to.
It stinks. I can't draw. Why'd you make me do this? I don't want to do it. This is stupid.
Like a little kid.
I can't draw.
This is stupid.
I tried to draw a cat. Why did you make me do this? God damn it.
He just starts stamping in
Don't want that.
in one spot.
Let's play with a ball. Stupid paint.
He would say,
Told you I don't want to do this.
He would say, "Hey, John, how do you do this? How do I make this work?"
Stupid.
He said, "We're
It
trying."
doesn't look like anything. I'm not good.
No, you are.
I'm not.
No, you are.
I don't like this.
Trust me. It looks good.
It's not that bad.
He's throwing a tantrum.
He'd rather go outside and play.
Yeah.
You've never done this before. Cut yourself some slack.
I can't. I'm stupid.
You're not stupid, Bruce.
You stupid.
You just need to work a little harder.
Paint. I want some milk.
Okay, we'll go get some milk and then we'll try this again later. Okay.
Bring it in the purple cup.
John. Hey, that's important to a kid.
Oh, of course.
He said, we're trying to figure out how to sell it and give the money to charity. He said, but I was proud of him. He went after it.
Do I get a gold star?
Very proud of you.
I know, but you don't like it because you didn't put it on the refrigerator. So you say things that are not true.
Oh my God.
If you liked it a lot, you would put it on the refrigerator, and you did.
I'm bringing it
And
to
then
work.
you make me feel stupid.
I was so busted
Oh, no.
from the refrigerator to the trash can. Why is this in here? I was like, oh, that was a mistake. I don't know what happened. It must to come off with some of the other stuff. I'm so sorry.
Oh, my God. I keep that stuff. Kathy throws it away. Jace, come over to my house. We'll appreciate it. Whenever you guys are ready, this is Froggy on MMR. Here we go.
I love nachos. Nachos from 7-Eleven. I know that they're bad for me, but when I eat them, I'm in heaven. 7-Eleven nachos. 7-Eleven nachos. 7-Eleven nachos. Liquid topping tastes so good. Post-band practice, I buy them. I eat them in Fiona's kitchen. Best worst nachos in the world. They're the only thing I want. 7-Eleven nachos. 7-Eleven nachos. 7-Eleven nachos. You would have some if you could. I think they taste pretty good. 7-Eleven nachos are like $4.20. That's a funny number, but I should know the price by now, but I really don't. And the cheese is so good, it's all bright orange. Yeah! Oh, nachos! And cheese! Yeah! 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 Wow! 7-Eleven nachos.
I love that. I love the lyric. They taste pretty good.
I love it. And the Corey, I couldn't hear everything where you go, I highly recommend it. I love that. And by the way, you know who's a fan of this band? Nikki freaking Sixx is a fan of Froggy.
He's our best friend. I love that guy.
He wanted a Froggy t-shirt, right? Isn't that the deal? Did you guys get him one?
Oh yeah, we were like, he was like, how much? We were like, do not even worry about it. We're like, for you, it's free.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, my God, that is the best. I love it. So I want to hear, so, you know, when we ask somebody to do a song for us, to do a jingle or whatever, you never know if they'll go, yeah, right, whatever. But these guys were like, oh, of course, we'll totally do that. So we were totally psyched about that. Did it take a while to come up with something, or was it pretty easy to come to you immediately?
It kind of came to us immediately. We kind of used the riff we had in store. We just didn't know what to put lyrics with it, and we're like, this is the perfect riff to do it with. And we had 2 drafts of the lyrics, but we came up with something good.
Okay.
And yeah, we're really excited.
So the world debut.
Yeah.
And what is the title of the song?
No title
No
yet.
title.
It's the
No
Preston and
untitled.
Steve
All right.
song.
All right. So I'm excited for this, and I want to make sure we get a good recording of it. This might be our only chance to get it. Unless it ends up on an album.
Sure, in the future we will record it.
All right.
yes.
We appreciate that.
November. I guess it's November now.
It is.
Soon.
By the way, let's check this out, and then we'll find out where any gigs and things like that are coming up.
Okay.
So can we get the Preston and Steve song?
Sure.
All right, let's check this out. Froggy, I'm so excited they're here this morning. These guys, they got heart, man. I love it.
Real
All right,
deal.
whenever you're ready.
We got to have that.
It's Friday. Did you hear that at the end?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's our new Friday anthem if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
Oh, that was outstanding. I couldn't hear exactly what was being said in the middle there.
The third part was no school for me, Mom. I don't want to go. I just want to listen to the radio.
Yes. Oh. all.
No, we need that. Yes,
Old
absolutely.
school angst. I love it.
Love it. Honored.
You guys have any gigs coming up that we need to be aware of?
New Year's Eve at Philomoka with Colleen Green and Joe Jack Talcum. It's
Okay.
going to be awesome.
Yep, it's our biggest show.
And something early December in the works, not fully planned out yet.
We're
but-
actually taking November off to record a little something.
Yeah, very nice.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Well, will you keep us apprised of what your dates are, and we'll get them out for you, man.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
thank you, thank
people,
you.
People who love straight up punk are gonna love this this energy that you guys have.
So that New Year's Eve show, all ages show, or
Yep,
is it
all ages.
Okay. Speaking of ages, how old are we all here? So Morgan, how old are you?
18.
And Brooke?
I'm 18.
And how about you, Fiona?
17.
18, and 17 years old.
They're so damn good, though, man. They really are. It's great.
Hey, what are you guys doing the second or third Saturday in May of 2022?
Nothing that I know
guess
of.
we're
all right.
free.
Yeah, just
I'm free.
keep those Saturdays open. Just
Dude, that would be awesome.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
like, what is he talking about? What is
The
second-
barbecue.
Got it.
And barbecue. We called sanitized last week from Ghost. It's satanized.
Yeah, and you hear that sort of buoyant song, and is there anything Satan about that?
I don't know. That's the thing. That's the thing that's always been a little slightly misleading about Ghost, and melodically and sonically, it's got a more palatable feel to it than the imagery would suggest from that band.
It's much harder.
Yeah, so Satanized from Ghost on 93.3 WMMR. 10:35 on this Monday morning as our week is officially underway, friends. We got this one in the books. We would like to thank our good friend Casey Boy for checking in live from Verona, Italy this morning. His son, St. Joe's Prep, by the way, beat Imola, which is the Italian team. I assume they're the Italian team there. Skunked them, man. Well, didn't skunk them, but kicked their asses 38-12. How about that?
Pretty amazing.
And so Casey was just giving us a rundown of his travel, and it's his first time in Italy, so he's just giving his impressions of what he thought of the area so far. And we're going to see him live in Clearwater on Thursday, or Wednesday we will see him, and then Thursday we do our show from there, which is pretty cool. So it's nice checking in with him via Zoom this morning. Pierre Robert has returned unscathed from the weekend, it looks like. In fact, well, I don't really see any scars or anything on you visually. You could have some other things going on.
Emotional scars.
Yeah.
Emotional scars.
Of course.
I fell in love 17 times.
Wow.
Got married 3 times.
Got your heart
divorced.
broken, ripped out.
Ripped to shreds. But the love I had for those brief
shining moments.
7 to 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Were incredible.
It makes it worth it.
It really does.
Makes it all worth
If you don't try, Presbo,
I know.
you don't get nothing.
You don't.
You don't get nothing if you don't put it out.
That's right there.
There
gotta
you
put
go.
it all out there.
Put your heart on the line.
Besides
and
all
wait
those
to have it squished.
Besides all those heartbreaks, how was your weekend?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, very good. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Shall we do the letter of the day?
I believe so.
All right, here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter
C as in happy birthday.
C as in happy birthday. Exactly. And we're giving away $500 from Paramount Pictures Novocaine. And you can go see Novocaine in 4DX, by the way. Seat motion, environmental effects, all this stuff put you in the heart of the action. And you're going to feel it in 4DX. Paramount Pictures Novocaine stars Jack Quaid. And it will be in theaters this Friday, and that's when we will give away our Word of the Week prize, which is cool. It's a Monday. It's warming up. It's supposed to be really, really nice today.
Very nice.
Excellent. So
It is your birthday, right?
it's my birthday, exactly.
Good.
Thank you. All right, so what's coming up on today's program?
The program, we won't have anything to give away, but we will have Eric Clapton tickets, I believe, tomorrow.
Nice.
Cool.
So stand by for that. We have Women's History Month continuing. We've had a lot of fun in our first week. We have 3 more weeks of it beginning today with either blocks or individual songs by legendary ladies of music and rock and roll that we're celebrating, and there's so many. And we'll also have a block of Breaking Benjamin. You share a birthday with Ben Burnley.
Oh.
Yes.
That's nice.
It is very cool to know. In fact, he's asking about you.
He
wants to have you come up and play with Breaking Benjamin.
Oh.
At the farm.
Yeah, at the farm.
Oh, not drums. They want me to play at the farm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, play in the mud, in the rat pit. I'm mixing all kinds of things together. And we'll have a block of Pearl Jam for Jeff Amen's birthday today.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Pierre. By the way, don't send me emails. It's not my birthday.
It's not? I thought someone wished
it's all
you
good.
wished you happy birthday.
What happened?
There was no crawdad to be found.
Why are we playing this?
Sand.
Hang on.
What? We ate sand.
You ate sand?
That's right.
Oh, I know why. Okay.
Yep.
On Monday, the outro music is the theme from Raising Arizona, or one of the themes. And Marisa typed in Raising Arizona, and that clip came up.
Can we play it again? Or did we kill it already?
Hang on, we'll give it one more time for you, Nick. This is our new ending song.
Okay. When there was no meat, we ate fowl. And there was no fowl, we ate crawdad. And when there was no crawdad to be found, we ate sand.
You ate what?
We ate sand.
You ate sand?
That's right.
Thank you.
Nick Cage is delivering. You ate sand?
You ate sand? All right. I will thank our sponsors. There it is. There's the
There we
music
go.
right there. The President Steve Show brought to you today by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors. Also brought to you by Dunkin'. The President Steve Show runs on Dunkin', and by Monster Mania 62.
Wow.
It's coming March 14th to the 16th to the Doubletree by Hilton in Cherry Hill. Tomorrow on our program should be a good one, Tuesday, so we'll give away some fresh ink with Tat Tuesday. And wonderful actress Wendy Malick will be joining us.
Love her.
On the show, and we'll see what else we can do. That's it. We are done. Rage on. Have yourself a great day. We'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.